Truth Radio. Radio gonga kan katemedere etati tokbere jenai FM ko gonga kan lutata.
Ndo poni kuya radio station oga nondiba odome binde ona Truth Radio 103.9 FM nondiba Benamanki.
Wolo True Radio Station ma 103.9 FM Tonyimia Aloma.
Antu so alense kan konkobi angi atela an Truth Radio kan 103.9 FM tatenye tamlopso.
Ndo poni kuya radio station oga nondiba odome binde ona Truth Radio 103.9 FM nondiba Benamanki.
Hida jentade Truth Radio. Radio gonga kan katemedere etati tokbere jenai FM ko gonga kan lutata.
Antu so alense kan konkobi angi atela an Truth Radio kan 103.9 FM tatenye tamlopso.
Ndo poni kuya radio station oga nondiba odome binde ona Truth Radio 103.9 FM nondiba Benamanki.
Antu so alense kan konkobi angi atela an Truth Radio kan 103.9 FM tatenye tamlopso.
Radio True Leader. Radio True Leader. We rise every morning with truth in our hands. No more silence, we take a stand. For the people who cry, for the dreams that fade. We speak for the hearts that justice betrayed. Radio True Leader.
On FM 103.9.
Radio True Leader.
On FM 103.9.
Now we voice, now we power. True Leader go shine like tower. We no go fear, we go talk. Even if they know I make we talk. True Media Radio on FM 103.9.
Now glory they Friday, not true we they preach. Freedom of speech, now that we they teach.
Mina Yusuf Jalo, the Cow Footprints, and you they listen to Truth Radio on 103.9 FM, live from Freetown. Na to the last.
Nyabone sawo matonya yepe gwagwagwo era we. Tonya yepe gwagwo era ngatu ayagwo ngweza watomi nane FM we. Tonya yepe gwagwo era ngatu ayagwo ngweza watomi nane FM. Tamianga tu atonya yepe gwagwo era we. Nyabuda tonya yemi aloma. Tonya yele mi amome. Nyabone jagbe nyale ngeja ti anyale dwe mi do nyango ngolo tonya yepe gwagwo era we. Mi atanu isivena. Nambo abo mi driver. Nyabuda jepe bubura abo mi wabido tonya yepe gwagwo era. Amiaga tole papa ngoti taloba papa nebe da penegbe nugo ma o ya gbogbe chawa to mi na ni FM ne ma ya mi abede bede amukeni mo ya de kini mo ni da keza keza me bi lo to me gbo amiaga pinga
Indeed, beautiful country and beautiful people. Nice people, nice people, I would say. Good morning, good morning. A few minutes ago I was stressed out, but, but that life, sometimes I can always say, good morning, everyone, good morning. Good morning and welcome. I can always say now, I can get plans with dreams and things happen. You don't know how and when they will happen, Came this morning, everybody was ready, and we just noticed there are some technical issues with our live broadcast equipment, and we had to try and fix it. And thanks to the team, thanks to Simon, Ansu, and thanks for pulling this up, and thanks to everyone for calling, messaging. And we know we've built a family. We don't get this family, and people actually, I was saying like, okay, let's go on with the radio. We can just go on ahead with the radio. The radio is fine, but people are so connected online as well. but that about it. We're very much sorry we're starting this late. It's 7:30 now. We had a slight technical issue this morning. It's a bit serious, but hopefully. We'll try to fix it. We'll try for fix them before tomorrow, hopefully. And things happen. Things happen with equipment, with us humans as well. It's just natural. But we appreciate the concerns, the comments. If you've been watching earlier, we don't begin start the live broadcast, but we get for stop because there were some technical issues. But thanks everyone. We're back. Good morning. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok as well. Welcoming all we viewers them from across the country and across the world. You see the camera they play. We still try for setup anyway. We still try for setup. But if you just join, we welcome. Good morning and thanks for being with us. It's always a blessing. And the feel-good factor of being here and having people supporting you and having people being part of this. But we pray. We're not going to skip the prayer today. We're a bit behind time. We expect to start with the guests them 7:30 this morning. But we should pray. We should pray for ourselves, pray for the country, pray for what they do. So we start the Truth Morning Devotion with prayers. We start with prayers. Let us pray this morning. Let us seek Allah in guidance and protection and in blessing our life. We leaders them, we president, the vice presidents, the chief minister, the ministers them, and all the other elected officials them. We pray for them, we pray for ourselves as a people. Join us in prayers and say amen, amen wherever you are. Because as my man then alumni can say, we not serve you in prayer, Allah the answer. It can be you, it can be me, it can be anybody. Let us pray.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to thank you for the nation of Sierra Leone. I want to give you all the glory and honor and adoration. Lord, I thank you for your mercy upon this land, Sierra Leone. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your fruitfulness. Thank you for your love over the nation of Sierra Leone. Lord, I want to thank you also for the life of the President Madabio and his family. Thank you for his life. Thank you for all you are doing for his family. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for your grace upon his life. Thank you, Lord, for giving him the wisdom, knowledge, understanding how to rule the nation Sierra Leone. And Father, I want to thank you also for the government of Sierra Leone. I pray that you give them the grace the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding how to rule the nation Sierra Leone. I pray, oh God, for your empowerment over the government of Sierra Leone. I pray for your strength. I pray for your grace that will be sufficient for the government of Sierra Leone. I pray, oh God, that you uphold the government of Sierra Leone to train them, to build them up, to help them how to rule the nation of Sierra Leone. Father, I want to thank you. I want to bless you. I want to give you all the glory, honor, and adoration. This I ask through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. God bless our lovely nation, Mama Salon.
Bismillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We begin with the recognition of the presence of Allah in our lifetime. We descend blessings and peace upon we beloved Rasul and upon all the prophets them. We come for guide mankind. We also descend peace to the one them we hold on to the rope of truth. We send peace to the one them we hold on to the rope of courage. And we send peace to the one them we centuries before and centuries to come the fight for establish the truth and justice in our society. We ask Allah for guide and protect we leader them. We ask Allah for bless them with wisdom will go be of benefit to society and to mankind as a whole. We ask Allah for bless the nation, for protect the nation against internal and external force. We ask Allah for protect the ordinary man, the vulnerable man, the vulnerable woman. We ask Allah for protect we all. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من عذاب القبر ومن عذاب الجهنم ومن عذاب الفتنة وممات ومن شر فتنة المسيح الدجال. اللهم إني أسألك العافية. اللهم إني أسألك العافية. اللهم إني أسألك العافية. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤود حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والصلاة والسلام على المرسلين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
I just can't forgive you all I'm no can't I just can't for make you no sin. Now the price where you pay make a day at today. Since I own take today. Now you are not on day. And I know different. For tell the world, say, now you not me, I got a stone. No shaking you day, now you throne. Now you not me, I got a stone. No shaking you day, now you throne. I know I'm not. I know can't take. I just can't for make you no say. Now the price where you pay make a day as it is. Since I own till today. Now you are not a day. And I know the way for tell the world say. Shaking you day, now you throw. Nobody no go take you over there. Not so you me have over there. Nobody no go
Indeed, not to God we are both there. Now we are better stone. Not to and we hope and trust there, you know, and we believe say they go answer our prayers. Them amen, amen to them prayers and day. And we pray say God go make we better people, God go make this country a better place. And we all go enjoy them, you know. There is one thing about Salon people and this country is that despite all the challenges that we have and the many things we go through, like we politicians and keep in mind, we're very resilient people. To a very large extent, we are lovely people. Yeah, you know, yeah. Sometimes in the club, we can see people and they make it's more. Well, it's disagreement. It's more about politics and everybody want hold and ground. You know, power. Power, you know, is you for retain power, for get power. The feds them always can day, you know. I can tell some of my friends and say some of the things that are happening now with our politics, the disagreements, the tension and all, they're not new. You just need to go back, you know, waiting on new now that we get social media and you get a lot of people them way they run commentaries on certain things and you get a lot of young people who are involved in politics back. You know, the political exuberance. You get a lot of young people where, man, we don't need a college together. They don't deeper, you know, student politics. They don't come for national politics. So that zeal is there. And social media, they capture everything now, you know. So we all connected. Today now we record the normal they use. We go, we interview, we come, we play. But now, just this morning, because we had issues with our live broadcast equipment, we were able to go live. But the radio was on. It was okay. Lester Peak was fine. But because things change, you know, things don't change. But good morning. Good morning, everyone. We feel the love this morning, and I want to thank all everybody. We reach out, we call, we check, we send message. It was a bit stressful time, but we appreciate Maliki Dabo, Fode Mansare, Caribbean, Kurma Mohamed, Usman Kamara, Kurma Paul Ira, Shiba Concept, Nafisa 2, Alpha, Creo Bobo, Junior T, Alex Goba, Kusna Bayo, Abibatu Mansare, Cleveland, Adama Maxil, Fudzi Agbewanu, Abubakar Box Conte, DJ Box, Papi Haide Duba, Merkaba, Shekudin Mansare, Augustine Momo Davies, Sal Texal, Zainab Masakoy, Alva Jobari, Makube Musa, Minkailu, Abdullah, Jaya Koka, Mike Joseph Kanu, Alfred Keru, Shiba Concept, everybody, we want to appreciate you and tell you thank you, you know, for the concerns. Peter Beckley, P. Bex, Florence Lily Makata, everybody so far, you know, we send we message or drop a message and talking drum studio Fambulu now do. But good morning everyone and welcome. We recognize and appreciate that you know we're doing this together and everybody gets their concern and everybody you know appreciates what they do. We're not taking this for granted. We pray say we'll continue to get the strength and energy for continue for do this. So they can't talk to guests then this morning. We get Golo Kata with between at the studio already. We expect to get Abdul Fatoma for start the conversation this morning and later we'll talk to the mayor of Freetown. Even Akisoya, where they represent the APC, na the Tripartite Steering Committee, and also na a flag bearer aspirant of the APC. When they look at the Tripartite, the recommendations and the implementation, we can take stock with Golo for no way to happen. And Andrew Fatoma to CHRDI just do a pool and don't do several pools recently. And one other one that the you know, boycott of the APC, people are not support them according to the pool, and also the PI system. We can talk about that shortly in the program. But before that, let's take this story. It's very important. We published this story yesterday. The government of Salon don't sign some agreement for accept third people from countries that we know to ECOWAS country They can be people from Venezuela. They can be people from the Caribbean. They could be people from the Middle East. But whether not the U.S., where the U.S. government want for deport. So Salon, they get a grant of 1.5 million United States dollars for able handle this, and the government don't sign cabinet don't approve a paper, and the government don't sign a contract with a company, Canvas Solutions or so, we get for implement and then get for provide the service. So when them people and they can then deport it and they come, and then they get holding center for them. But there are questions where we actually get for ask further. Hopefully we'll get the foreign minister for talk further on this. And so we get for all them people there, and possibly the other questions is how do we send them to their countries? You know, very recently Ghana do the same, and it became very chaotic, you know, with sending people in their own country them as well. So we government don't sign that contract, but we do. With a short story, let me take that the quick whilst we they can after that they can talk to we first guest this morning, we guest at the program, continue for story two. And like I said, this story is a developing story. It's a story where I think there is a need for some transparency and also some explanation further from especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on how this whole thing get for happen, and whether I link to the visa ban where the U.S. government's been on put way on that. But we'll take this story quickly.
Last week, na the weekly government press conference, the Minister of Information and Civic Education, CHRDI, announced say cabinet to approve the third country national agreement with the United States. It may explain say this agreement will support reception, temporary hosting, and humanitarian service for returnees.
Number 3. Cabinet approve an agreement for support, reception, temporary hosting, and humanitarian services under the third country national agreement in collaboration with international partners. This is a very specific agreement with third party for provision of services for under the third country national agreements.
It may add say the program time bound and get support of 1.5 million United States dollars for make sure say returnees them go get basic service and then go treat them with dignity. It be same way to make and clear say this agreement here so not get connection with the US visa ban, and talk say government will continue for strengthening relationship with America. But this development here so not just start. Early this year, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kaba, been confirmed to tweet media say the United States been request Salon for accept third-party national stem as part of one negotiation for left the full visa restriction. It been same way to talk say at that time day, Salon be consider for accept national stem from West Africa under refugee law.
What we are contemplating, if we're going to take third-party nationals based on the refugee status, it will be West Africans. So when they come, we facilitate them.
It may also mention say 52 Sierra Leoneans in ICE detention where been they wait deportation.
Yes, we got about 52 people where they when are Sierra Leoneans where they in the custody of the ICE, where they work with the State Department for process the emergency travel certificate for me and come back home.
Salon they prepare for receive deportees them from other countries them out of West Africa. Plenty disagreements on one Salon man where the US government been deported recently. People on social media don't raise serious concerns about one Shaman Wesley where been turned to social media for ask for help because information we show say it been done at jail for where it be harbor one small picking 9 O's. Wesley inside one interview with IB blog self confirm this news and say it been done serving jail term.
What is that the document is where they charge me with? Where they charge me say up here to say sexual exploitation because of the camera I get on my house. I get 16 blackout camera. Anybody where they oversee or within America who know about blackout, then go tell you say yes, not true. And also this is statutory rape. They may charge me with. But because the Pekin are 16 and also the mommy and the daddy know for say the Pekin don't spin a house, and then they see them at the camera where they send me house, they do all things, cook and clean and in and out, then dismiss that one day. And then this now the assault in the officer. I'm not church more. Now this them be coming go to the jail for force when they call the other two. And I plead guilty to this sexual exploitation because na me come and I may put them.
With deportees like Wesley, people and they ask questions about the kind people and we get for the kind of salon, their record, and how the government self go protecting citizens them, especially women and girl picking them. Also, one big question we one person like Vicky Remo they ask, now who that gets the company Keva where government sign contracts with as needed day for more transparency for SECA, the 1.5 million United States dollars were involved. We will continue for ask and hopefully the government could provide the right answers them as this gets for do with the safety and security of salon people. For Truth Media, Mina Davida Spin Solomon, we report.
EcoBank's award-winning suite of solutions for women in business is expanding to be bigger, better, and more inclusive. If you're an entrepreneur and your business is not yet registered, take advantage of expert coaching and training. Get visible online and reach more customers. Access finance and smart business resources. If you run a registered business, develop your business capabilities and expertise. Benefit from bespoke financial solutions. Access new markets. Connect with experienced female mentors. And if you're an accomplished professional, achieve your gender and diversity goals. Support and empower other women. Inspire and influence with your expert skills. Develop your legacy and social impact as a mentor. And foster a culture of growth and development in your peer group. Join our community at ecobank.com/elevate. Elevate by EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Travel, one of the best pan travel business na the country, they come up back this year with Ragbala Excursion 2026. They take we direct to Thailand. Lord Daddy, beautiful country, nice country, sweet country. And they tell you, they want the way don't work out with Dorim. No say they sabi handle and customer them. And Dorim, they give value for money. Ragbala Excursion 2026 to Thailand go be from August 15 so till August 29 for just $6,000 no more. Where inside there you get hotel accommodation, air ticket, airport pickup, and drop off. Then go carry go waka. Now all the fine places in Thailand. But I tell you, this is superb value for money. No waste time again. Call him now and make you booking and arrange how you want for pay. Call them now 099 009 249 or 076 578 448. No forget to Ragbala Excursion 2026 na Thailand from August 15 to August 29 for just 6,000 normal. Thailand, we did a road, we dey come.
This late and Gamada season, only they turn you every day call them to big wins. Yes, because we dare together. You can win over 1 million euros worth of prize them. Just make call, we go hit 50 euros every week and win 5,000 euros worth of food item them. Renew solar subscription or buy new solar kit and win 5,000 euros worth of food item them plus 10 minutes free call. Yes, we dey get winner every week. But wait oh, this is don't loud, yeah? Make call we go hit 250 euros every month and you can drive brand new keke. Waiting that, inside this season. We get faith and blessing. Your connection for make you enjoy. Call more and win big. Orange, the better when we there together.
Orange.
Orange Maxis gets flexible data and voice plans them we go fit you lifestyle. Try the Colat Mini for just 70 leon and get 2.5 Mbps speed for 7 days. You can need data anytime. Your bundle they give you fast internet anytime you day. For you can prefer customized plan. Your own bundle they make you select the exact data and voice package where you need. Find the best data and voice option now na Maxit. Download the app and stay connected.
Welcome back. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from our studios na Ilcott na Freetown. We also there on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok as well. Welcoming all viewers from across the country and across the world. And we listen as them now partner radio stations na Kailao, na Pujeon and Falaba on Radio Muse. Good morning and welcome. We can start the first conversation this morning. We still expect forget Abdul Fatoma for joining at this conversation. But I get already in the studio with me Golo Kata, we are the coordinator of the Tripartite Steering Committee, and we can take stock. Golo, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Ramana, and good morning, Sierra Leoneans.
Yes, I see there's been a lot of disagreements between the opposition party, the APC, we na signatory to the agreement for national unity. We bring about the tripartite recommendations, and also the chief minister, where they represent governments, where they lead the process about waiting to implement, waiting to implement it. So this morning, I want to take stock. Who side we dey presently as a nation with the 80 recommendations of the we come up from the after the agreement for national unity, the tripartite recommendations, the 80 use out presently.
So thank you very much, Lamrana. So out of the quote they talked about the 80 recommendations, first of all, let us just separate them, make people understand. Part of the recommendations in a constitutional review that they talk about. Others, part of them, they will talk about legislative reviews. Then the other part of them, they will talk about what we call management and functional review. What in that they mean say they talk about the institutions then. All the institutions that will in this process here. They say for go through review for ensure say processes and they will go take place for make them more efficient and effective. And then finally, a lot of other recommendations they will talk about systems, policies, regulations, guidelines. And then one they say self then they and so the process design. Currently, me and you know say a constitutional amendments bill 2025 in a parliament. So then they don't capture a lot of areas within the 8 recommendations. And then they left to parliamentarians for me to talk about them and pass them into law. Also, a lot of conversation already did with the legislative processes. So, for example, SLBCD, it go through 2 processes. It go through the management and functional review, and the recommendations and don't come out. They don't hand them over to the chief minister. The chief minister don't carry and go to cabinet don't approve them. So they don't come back, and the SLBC management board and also PSRE, then they look at them and the implementation. So that's one. Also the IMC SEFD. In SEF now the same thing go through. It go through review, management and functional review. And from that review, they instead get a set of recommendations. Instead don't go through cabinets, and instead then they pass that process. They. I will take time for tell you about what happened around the one ending. Also, the independent police complaint board. Instead don't go through the same process. You know, say it not be even get law. Now regulation ain't being get. When I establish them. But now, it very clear say they're not able to do their work very well because our regulation.
They're limited.
They're limited. So as a result of that, out of all that process, they ask for me then review the regulation and develop an act for them. Then they say don't go through all the process with the other one. They don't go through, and instead they in your review process now. Also, PPLC don't go through the same thing. You will realize that PPLC already gets something we go deal with the constitution. But also, instead of go through management and functional review and recommendations that don't come out, instead don't be accepted by cabinet, and already then don't start their own processes. For example, PPLC will always get ever gets a legal department because the chairman a lawyer, judge, etc. That kind of person. But then believe say a lot the way they do with the law. So you forget a directorate of legal affairs. So out of that functional review, they'd already begin set up that. Also the electoral commission instead don't go through functional review. If I don't get the largest number of recommendations, and then they don't go through that. In fact, the first one we go through, and in mean different because in not only the normal institutions they deal with their process here. So it's I go talk about the public sector reform units.
PSRU.
Yes, then they deal with public sector reform processes, and you know, see that in one of the 5 big changes. So government already gets a bigger framework of wanting to do public sector reform processes.
But the recommendation say the electoral commission must consult on a consultation policy.
Then there's a different one. We will talk about that just now. Now done with the MFRs. So that MFR for the electoral commission, in being say, may PSRU in one green do them. May it do them with an international partner. So the International Federation for Electoral Systems, IFES. Now we join PSRU, then do that process there. And now after that will be officially presented to His Excellency the President. And so don't go through processes, and already that reforms they don't start na the Electoral Commission, and PSRU and other parties they also follow up with that. The other one and they. So we don't talk about that one first. The other one and they will now about policy.
These are the institutional reforms and
recommendations. Now I don't talk about.
Yeah.
So out of all those, there are many processes internally taking place. We also require follow and ensure say that they happen well. Then they follow the compliance in relation to what's in the recommendations and say, etc. So the other one, now the one that we a lot of policy and regulations development. So now he talks about recommendation 1, recommendation 2, 3, 4, 5, take random.
What do do with ECSL?
So that one they do with ECSL. What is say? For example, recommendation 1, it say may ECSL do may develop a consultation policy.
And for publisher within 3 months of the submission of this report.
Yes. So
this is not the report that they present to Chief Minister on ECSL?
This the one there now internal documents and whether for produce.
Okay.
And when they produce them, if you read I say, if I present them to the political party liaison committee, for me all political parties and discuss them and make them understand them because they get for the use in terms of consultation. Inside that document, they forget a comprehensive list of stakeholders who then go consult in every decision where they want to take.
This means election observer institution, political parties.
Everybody, so political parties, civil society, other institutions, where they also believe say importance in that process. So there's a whole matrix.
How far we did with this?
This is non-completer.
But I see now partially completed.
Now they say so.
And policies done to be rolled out to stakeholders in 2026 first quarter.
So they make it partially completed. So then they could not discuss that with the Electoral Commission, and very soon it go call the PPLC meeting.
So should we say this has not been completed yet?
That's why it said partially completed.
Okay.
Because it still say we don't do the policy done. If I lay them before the PPLC, men and discuss them. And then they finalize
the PPLC and the political party liaison committee.
So that meeting, where they bring all the political parties them together, instead of check them, now part of the recommendation. And now they say, not to just the political parties, therefore bring other important actors them and stakeholders into the process, including human rights, civil society, other institutions, PPLC, etc. So that one day, 9 and they per work on right now for make them do. Other one and they also, for example, the regulation on the policy on regulation making. In self, beaucoup regulations that the way the Electoral Commission go they make, where the election period they reach. So policy for the way for show clearly as to how they go make the regulations and whether they go be involved. Because our man say most of the regulations. Where the Electoral Commission they do, not to the normal PPLC as well, can end up for be constitutional instruments. They can go to Parliament, then they learn it for 21 days, then they turn law. So now, the recommendation they ask say there should be a policy guiding that to happen.
Yeah, and that's not started.
So it's
recommendation 5. Recommendation 5 will say the Electoral Commission Secretariat must be responsible for the electoral operations. Electoral Commissioners should only be engaged in the development of regulatory policies and refrain from interfering in the work of the Secretariat staff. ECSL are the responsible for that day. Stage not started yet. It say ECSL has some concerns about these recommendations and will require further engagement or discussions on the implementation of these recommendations. The Commission refers to its legal responsibilities as contained in Section 33 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, and that will be completed in Q1 2026.
So what they say now that even the Constitution, when they talk about the Electoral Commission, they say there will be an Electoral Commission administered and managed by commissioners. Now that is the whole. You know they say by executive secretary, directors, coordinators, etc.
So the responsibility is on the electoral commissioners.
Exactly, and that they say. So for pull them, for some of them work there, you go to create a serious concern about their own duties. Now that they say. In the course of this particular recommendation, so let me not start it. With out of the functional reviews.
But this will be completed in Q1.
Yes, so the discussion is still there on, like what I say. And it will virtually come to some conclusion.
Okay.
Because with the functional review, it will also show everybody in roles and functions. For example, it don't say the directorates and Tuboku. So therefore review them and we drop them. And they're up to about 15 or more. Therefore drop them out to about 10. Then it will require, one of the recommendations from the MFR, then it will require merging and also reviewing directorates. And then many other functions and they within with our recommendations we will believe say if they implement the one and they properly, it will reach a point where it will address this recommendation 5 to some extent.
Okay.
Because everybody will don't know in role and responsibility. And so it will able to draw line between administration and operations. I mean, so that it make not start it.
I see this part on recommendation 7. Electoral Commission to publish a full electoral cycle calendar within 12 months of the declaration of a presidential election result. This tied to the amendment bill? Because I see now partially completed rollout of the findings of the feasibility studies done by the consultant, and that will be completed in Q3 of 2026.
a tight one, because the part of the amendment bill you also talk about the dates for elections.
Yeah.
So if you talk about the dates for elections, then they all for the inside that plan day. Yeah. But also the commission also they do the strategic plan.
Okay.
Out of the strategic plan, we will look at the full electoral cycle processes. It will not able for generate the whole operational plan what they talk about. So that I make instance.
So from recommendation 1 to recommendation 13, it's either ongoing, mostly it's partially completed. Is it safe to say the notion that the implementation of the recommendations that don't complete is not actually what is happening? Some are ongoing and some are partially completed. The process is still on.
That's why we will say significant progress has taken place.
But they're not completed yet.
Of course, it is talking clearly. Because part of the work them will still get for continue. You know, Lamana, elections na processes we go virtually, even though this whole recommendations get their own timelines, you will realize that some of them not go be really fitted within them timelines because now processes we really need for be taking place at a particular time. You cannot talk about voter registration to extensively by now, but planning will begin around them. And so when you watch, I go say either it's ongoing also or is partially completed. They will begin develop guidelines, processes, and we will lead to that. So important for make then when they take place. They will also require series of consultations. In these recommendations, there are a few issues that are emerging, and so it requires something, for example, studies. For first of all, do a study. We go look at how it look like around the world, and then from there draw out what thing will really look fine for the Sierra Leone environment. So that one and there, go take some time. For example, recommendation that we talk about for allow prisoners for vote. We cannot just do that without understanding what that means with the law, and also how is it taking place in other parts of the world. There's a recommendation that's talking about diaspora voting. We've never done it. A few neighbors around us are doing it. We could learn from that. Through a study. They want to do all these studies and then they on. So we'll say they are ongoing.
The process don't start.
They don't start. So they are ongoing.
Okay, recommendation 20 say create a dedicated oversight committee in Parliament comprising representatives from all political parties represented in Parliament as a standing committee on electoral matters to review an electoral cycle, inquire into electoral preparedness and guide legislative reform. The committee is to be chaired by an MP from an opposition party. ECSL is responsible for this, not started yet. ECSL has some concerns about the recommendation and require further engagement discussions on the implementation of this recommendation. So this is one issue where the opposition, APC, don't they raise up. Say this was even in the agreement for national unity. We come to this recommendation of this standing committee was in the agreement for national unity. We come into the 80 recommendations of the tripartite. How far is this? Why is it not even started yet?
So, whilst they deal with the electoral commission, but now the parliament's time for sets that committee. So a lot of conversations, letters have been written to Parliament, for example, for deal with that issue. But frankly, with the conversations with the electoral commission, what they are saying, it's about their independence and their tenure of autonomy. Because when you look at them, they believe say there is a section in the Constitution where they talk about than they for them. Say nobody not for interfere into their work. And then gets that kind free will for do their work in relation to the law. So then they feel say setting up an institution like that, they will get a lot of interference into their work.
But it's an oversight institution, not an institution.
So with the way how it is coined in this recommendation, now make them the reason so. But in the course of the conversation, even with the Attorney General and the lawmakers, then a lot of conversation with us we say, okay, for example, we'll get a governance committee in Parliament, and that committee they deal with governance issues. So we can find a way for fix this process here. We will be a responsibility of that committee day, and at the opposition they head them. So that day it will require some set of continued engagement for make that day clear.
But that not started. There are reservations.
Of course, like I have just said to you, there are reservations from the Electoral Commission and the Attorney General.
Has there been a dialogue with the political party, the members of parliament of the two main political parties that within a parliament on this and how?
This is a strong conversation that has taken place in the steering committee. In one of the steering committee meetings, this was brought up, and I remember that steering committee then at that meeting we also be invite development partners and donors day. So that conversation they come up. So like I say, it will just need now for make them continue for discussion and reach logical conclusion.
And it's not started yet.
But
it's not completed yet.
Yes.
Recommendation 36. It say it is recommended to amend Section 32(3) of the Constitution, Section 2 of the Public Elections Act, and Section 34 of the Constitution to provide for a search and nominating committee for the appointment of all members of the Electoral Commission and the chair of the Political Parties Regulation Commission that comprises 9 persons from all walks of life with an overall number of women in line with the jury. ECSL, partially completed, included in the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2025, now tabled in Parliament, to be determined by Parliament. But the argument has been, this is the recommendation, but what is in the amendment bill is different. How it changed? Not so through was it discussed in the steering committee that these changes for happen, or it is with the AG's office?
It is with the AG's office. These are, legal issues that he will deal with and in committee. So now go don't look at him and don't set him the way he did. But until the day before Parliament.
But again, if then changes they happen, do you come back to the steering committee and get them views about whether waiting at them position on then changes there before the AG do, or does the AG engage the steering committee, say we know say this is a recommendation, but this is what we think as a government in this amendment bill we want present?
The AG is a member of the steering committee.
So this was discussed in the steering committee?
There will have been discussions around it, but like I said, this is within the purview of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
Yeah, but when they ask as coordinator, you are aware if there were engagement on this before, then gazette the amendment bill before it go to Parliament? Was it discussed within the steering committee on the changes that could happen?
Most of this presentation has been done before the steering committee. Most of the bill, first of all, the bill will be done before Parliament. It don't happen at the steering committee. Each line unexplained. So, once that don't happen, the next two side will go cabinet, and with cabinet's approval, it's then reviewed, and then it gets to Parliament. So so now you see, even when we go Parliament, it starts with constitutional pre-led conversation. Before Parliament now finally go layer, before the AG go now layer, now Parliament for discussion.
So this ongoing disagreement openly. Wait to make they ask now whether the steering committee secretariat can capture the disagreement there, or there are things where, because other people ending at the committee, right?
Yes.
Civil society, I know Sludge, they part of the committee, Women's Forum and others. are these things that they usually get input from other people on waiting and think and waiting at a position that could inform whatever could be a document that will be implemented?
The steering committee is an open committee. And then when they are on are members. So they have the right to raise issues. In the last steering committee, a lot of issues were raised. So now, so almost every other steering committee. I mean, this way they talk about so. Now issues are even where even I worship the mayor. As member of the steering committee, in one of the steering committee meetings, they don't talk about their issues there. So yes, these conversations are part of the steering committee. I mean, processes. Once there is one going on.
There is this recommendation 60 when the public election actually filed the order that candidates should appear on the ballot paper following consultation. I know the last time we've been talking, when they get these conversations, it's something then they will get for happen. They're not able to implement it now. It get for be maybe after we don't get electoral date for election and ECS alone put out the calendar of waiting they happen. How now they keep track on some of them things and for make the other people them way like the opposition way they part of the committee understand say them processes they are go only be completed where we don't get the amendment bill, don't get elections dates and don't get the election cycle of when election they start, when registration they start and the other processes.
So the man was on register, I don't raise Andy over and again. So in many of our conversations with various sets of people, we will say that because like what I say, you got to understand the electoral cycle process. For me, you did this kind for the lead on that kind of process there. So you go find out, you go see. Say this one, for example, recommendation they would talk about nomination. We cannot really do much at this. But now process way as we go closer to the elections, and when you check out, it go down to show which quarter down they did. It will be possibly some quarter in 27. Then they go down, happen, and before it happen, it will get a lot of engagements with political parties and other stakeholders for me to review and agree on how it will look like. I mean, when you look at the recommendation, it already tidies as to what should happen.
Yeah.
For get them they properly done.
With the electoral issues, them reforms, recommendations, them we come up to 79, recommendation 79. We get 70%, 7% we not start yet, 36% partially completed, 57% ongoing, and there is none where you don't complete. That is confirmed, right? According to the data, the chart we have shown here, the
overall implementation status.
Yeah,
it's a 10% completed.
About the reports where you
so when you look down, they done at the electoral commission in you.
Now they say now the electoral now then they are say first now the premise and they were say the issues that we get for do with the electoral commission, electoral reforms and electoral commission specifically we come up to recommendation 79 from recommendation 1 to 79. No. If you watch,
within their own recommendations.
Exactly, that is what I'm saying. Because if you watch now, ongoing, partially completed, ongoing, not started yet. So there is a chart where una creates after the recommendations and day where they show say the pie illustrating implementation status of recommendations by ECSL. That is the point I'm making. That is on page 12. If you can go to the page.
I know. Go ahead.
Yes, it's on page 12. It say 7% not started, 36% partially completed, 57% ongoing. So there is none that has been completed under the implementation status of recommendations by ECSL.
Yes, because like I said to you, it require a set of actions within each recommendations. Until their recommendations and their actions and they all complete. We're not going to say they don't complete. So we'll say partially completed. For example, we'll talk about recommendation 1. We'll say partially completed. The policy is done. But the recommendation continues to say that policy must be laid from begin roll out. For the first way for me, it will be laid out now the PPSC meeting for discussions and then finalize and day. So until that happens, we cannot capture it that it's completed.
Okay.
And so there's many of those that fall within that. But also important for make you note, Lamrana. So this is really where the technicality about this work is. What is happening around these processes require due diligence. It require tactful and careful work placements.
Okay.
So in not to where you get for a rush no more and come back and present and say I don't done.
Okay.
Because the way the recommendations they say they ask for consultations, they ask for interactions, etc.
Some of them get timeline, Q1, Q2 to be completed.
Of course, like I said to you, the timelines where they see right now, those are genuine timelines given to us by the institutions themselves.
Okay.
They have looked at, there have been timelines exactly, and most of them process they have the timelines they go up to 2027.
Okay. And one of the most critical one with electoral reform we get for do with the ACSL, when at the committee within parliament, then they not start it. That is very clear. You see conversation. They go. Now go to the second part quickly. We get for do with Political Parties Regulation Commission, PPIC. Then gets from recommendation 21 to recommendation 72. We get for do with PPIC should make available its annual audited accounts to registered political parties. Say that is ongoing. The commission's books of accounts are annually audited by Audit Service Sierra Leone. When I don't engage political party, when I don't engage the steering committee on this political parties.
Yes, we have done a presentation on this.
Okay.
I mean, because everything like we see inside, when would they report to the steering committee? Would they take time for discuss all this for make them know?
Okay.
When you look at recommendation 33, it says for enforce section 9 of the political parties code of conduct in relation to raising militia.
To sponsor violence.
Yes.
He said that is ongoing.
The commission continues to remind political parties operatives of this provision because they already did in their code of conduct, in their acts. So if you did it will continue for engage political parties on this.
There are things where I see not available now. Maybe you can just comment. Not attainable.
So recommendation 70.
It's recommendation 70
the political
and
parties
71.
Act to be amended to require that if a political party does not win any elected office, at least at local or national level, at 2 consecutive general elections, then the party will be deregistered.
Then they did the amendment bill, right?
No. Yes, they had the amendment bill.
Yeah.
Because government not accept her.
Okay.
And so because government not accept her, PPRC say they're not going to do nothing but her.
Okay.
Because the fact of the matter is, waiting government they say, and also almost all the political parties, they say not so just for winning elections, then they form political party, as it's explained in the constitution. So not so that they go make them for deregister them. They get many other functions when they undertake.
Okay.
As a political party.
So with PPIC, the charts they illustrate, they show implementation of recommendations by PPIC, 67% ongoing and 33% not applicable. So PPIC self then processes them, the implementation of the recommendations are ongoing.
So when you look at some of the recommendations, the course say they are ongoing. For example, there's a recommendation on political party finance regulation. Down the back, they don't almost complete them. They don't develop the regulation. The regulation don't go into constitutional amendments documents, and it did not parliament. So within the period where it reached 21 days and it passed into law, automatically you will see this go don't change to completed.
Okay. Under Office of National Security, the implementation of status of recommendation by ONS, and then gets recommendations 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, 28, 30, 31, 73, and 74. Say enshrine the neutrality, the non-partisanship and impartiality of the security forces in exercise of their function into the constitution and all security sectors. So this day, now the amendment bill, And I see they don't complete almost how many complete completed then gets 70% completed and only 30% of things them way ongoing.
So the bulk of the security sector work now around the Integrated Election Security Planning Committee. So the core around they say for institutionalizer. They have already now set up a directorate of IASPC, recruited a director, and set up a mechanism. So most of the policies and processes what they be supposed to do, they don't do them within the institution. In fact, as I speak to you now, part of what's ongoing now the engagement, for example, with political parties, for make them understand this. And that discussion will start with PPRC. So that the next inter-party dialogue conversation, we will bring ONS and the directorate for me they can speak about all the processes that we don't do. But most of the other ones they talk about policies, development of manuals, etc. They don't do most of all the one in the end. We don't go sit down with them. Recommendation by recommendation, we don't look at them, and we don't see. I mean, most of them process and they already did now, and the institution, they exist.
Okay.
So now on that basis, you will see, we will say they one and they completed. The other parts and they now they require engagements, and until the engagements and they take place, we'll not go say they're not complete.
Okay, I see SLBC, IMC, and IPCB, Independent Police Complaint Board, all gets 100% of implementation. All the charts they show 100% of implementation. These are the policies them and reform. Anything that we talk about earlier, like the IPCB, an act we get for going to Parliament for give them more power, right?
Yes.
Okay, for change their status.
Because then now SLBC so already the media reform
coordinating
MRCG, MRCG lead on a lot of consultations. I mean, for support the review of the SLBC Act, and they don't go through all and they don't produce. I mean, an extraordinary report. I mean, myself don't go through the report. I wouldn't say. So the reports also they help now for inform. They don't present that to the Minister of Information and Civic Education. The act itself they under review now with the Law Reform Commission and also the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Office. So that one day they show, I mean, a lot of goodwill. Also, a set of engagements within the institution itself about building its capacity. Itself don't start. I mean, if you go inside it now, you will see say a lot of reforms that take place around how they don't set up the process and how they review workforce. I mean issues. So that could say ongoing until the law pass. A lot of workforce issues then resolved. Then we go say we will get towards completion.
Recommendation 29, we have to do with the Human Rights Commission. It said the Human Rights Commission to monitor election-related human rights violations and release reports under the auspices of Human Rights Commission, increase human rights respect by developing a human rights campaign aimed at the security forces, the human rights organizations, and public at large to foster dialogue and understanding in advance of the election security trainings. This is a Human Rights Commission, not started yet. I see review of the Commission's elections preparedness strategy and deadline for the completion of this at 2027.
Well, yes. Normally, first of all, elections are a rights-based process. So the Human Rights Commission will actually getting closer to elections, set up mechanisms for observe the elections, monitor the elections. We will call them on monitors elections. So we're in conversation with them.
Okay.
That is something that will come up. It's part of their responsibility for monitor all rights-based issues and report on them.
Okay.
So once we are getting to that process, for example, they may help and work with the police and ONS for the human rights trainings, for example, for the security forces, for ensure then deal with elections issues, looking at human rights spectacle. So down there, that thing we will not see them go do already. We don't get conversations with them. Don't talk to the deputy chairman, the chairperson, and even the commissioner with in charge of the recommendation. We don't get a lot of conversation. So that's something and the way they will reach that point they end do.
Okay. National Civil Registration Authority, get 2 recommendations, 15 and 22. We get for do with further subsidizing acquisition of national ID cards, and also NCRA to be resourced to provide an inclusive and comprehensive civil register. NCRA to extend the data collection process to include all data fields relevant. This one I see not started yet. The first one is ongoing. Waiting at the engagement with them on them their recommendations.
So even few days ago, we don't get into meetings with them and other stakeholders. Then they already begin awareness raising around voter registration, for example. Also, then the other one, the conversation will begin between. I mean, some of us, even beyond the BSEF, between NCRA. Electoral Commission and the Attorney General's office, especially with the ID card issue. So I sure say then they will continue and then we will reach a point where a decision will be taken.
Okay.
They don't already begin planning for conversation around the districts on the voter registration process with the Electoral Commission. I mean, and we attend that meeting there. So now I make we say partly they were ongoing, the other one they were really not started it.
Okay, so the overall implementation status of the implementation of the tripartite recommendations, the 80 recommendations, we get 9% we not started, we get 52% we ongoing, and 27% partially completed, 10% completed, and 2% were not applicable. So, what's in our engagement with the opposition when a part of this steering committee, we clearly get reservations about the implementation of the recommendations and processes? Is it that they not get these documents, or they are not well briefed, or they get reservation about how the old recommendations are being implemented?
So I don't use, for inform them about the implementation process. I've even been to the office. I've also had conversation with the chief negotiator on this. In the course of the 16 district information dissemination, membership of the political parties were present, and APC in, not only the membership, even the leadership at district level be present in almost all the meetings at the district level. Yeah? So we are informing them. I also want you to say the website, tscssl.org. Now open websites where anybody who wants information they go pull this. And in fact, the way you begin to say technology don't come now, and so it show evidence. 1 week ago, I asked me data experts and say, look, we need to put a system now that website there for able for ascertain who that they go there. Yeah. So as a result of that, we don't put up a web tracker there back. We don't put a web tracker there for identify who that they go there. In 1 week, now very close to 800 people don't go to that website. In 1 week. So if I try a model we use now, we don't pay for them and we set them up. We hope so we before really begin identify who that they go there. But that for tell you say, and over close to 70% of the people who don't go to that website, they're not from Sierra Leone.
People and they seek information.
Yes. Over 70% of the people who don't go to that recommendation, that website, not from Sierra Leone. There are people even going to the website from China, from UK, from Singapore, and other parts of the world. So it means, now place where people they get a lot of information from. So this is what we want to do. I mean, we want to continue engaging political parties. We don't get series of meetings with political parties, including also in the party dialogue meetings. Yeah, so that we talk about all them process there. But like I also said to you, the opposition is part of the steering committee, except for this last steering committee meeting, will take place on March 12. We did not attend. But most of the other steering committees, then they attend. One or two, then they will, one or two people don't attend. For example, the mayor not attend. But, like what I always say, the minority leader, even though you know they attend, if they consistently send somebody when they attend the meeting and they participate effectively. There's also mayors, not only the mayor of Freetown, the mayor of McKinney also can come, pass this meeting and I not attend. But you don't use for come for most of the other meetings they attend. So there's enough information. Going to the party. If not directly from me, but directly from the committee members. Where every conversation
so what's in the issue about this public disagreement on this whole implementation of the recommendations there?
You know, Lamara, when it started, I was listening to you. This is something me and you have discussed severally. Say, then they politicize this process too much. Politics inside too much. You know, when you start, I every way they talk out. Before they talk out, I just don't talk outside, sit down. I say, this is a politics process. So people then go design them the way they feel for design them. But the truth is, there's a lot of information where they go out. Not so just information about implementation, even information about the way the steering committee they work. Every meeting, minutes day. Yeah. Every other meetings before we start, we don't do work plans. We don't do budgets. Now they will discuss them. You know go move on if we not discuss anything. Now they will discuss them, and we will do a whole presentation on that.
On March 13, the mayor posts in Facebook, when a member of the steering committee, right, so they represent the APC, say the Thursday 12 March 2026 publication of the Tripartite Steering Committee Secretariat shows that only 10% of the Tripartite Committee recommendations have been implemented since they were finalized in June 2024. The effective, inclusive, and timely implementation of the Tripartite recommendations are a prerequisite for free, fair, and credible elections in 2028. Are you behind time with the implementation of the recommendations?
Look, running elections are very technical processes. You just don't. So that's how we may have felt that some of those timelines we would have given may work easily. But some of even the process, like I said to you, require studies. Studies come back and inform taking action moving forward. So that's what anymore. So sometimes we will be really sit down really and look at them. Piecemeal. Say, this particular recommendation, sometimes that study go need before a document come. We go inform we how we really do them. Others than they now technical processes. And I'll tell you, I say there's a lot of processes going on in each of those institutions supporting the recommendations. We're not speaking about them, which are ongoing and partially completed. And when you look at all those, it shows significant work. So that's where the issue is. We'll not go run through this. We'll go back, we reach 2028, then we realize, say, a lot of mistakes were done along the way. I'm already where we are. People are saying, this would have happened, this would not have happened. So institutions are learning from all those issues and making sure that they get through it. Because, like what I say, this process is highly politicized. So every small mistake, it come up past even waiting to happen. And until
politicized by who? By the players?
But the players, politicians. This is just the facts. You know, if you look at the opposition, the core of people who are coming in front of these processes are flag bearers.
And the government as well. The chief
so this person no men company passer or no men not pass a company. So they go to even undermine themselves. But what we they say?
So now they happen with the implementation of this process because of the politics and the politicians that were involved in the steering committee and leading this process.
So some of them they talk, but then they refer back to the institutions. For example, let me tell you, when I spoke to the chief negotiator, I told him that there are processes ongoing within the institutions. Those ones I may not be able to give you reports on them. For example, if you say, like what I say, consultation policy is complete, I cannot give a consultation draft policy from Electoral Commission to a third party. You may want to engage them. So what we did was we gave the contact numbers of all the focal persons in all those institutions to him. Call them up. Fix a meeting with them. If that is proving too difficult, we will help you set that up. That's our role. For example, in the last steering committee meeting, the steering committee resolved that the steering committee must also engage in monitoring and evaluation around these processes. We are currently working on that. The chairperson of that M&A subcommittee has written to me. Requesting access to us and our commitment. I have written back to him. Declaring that we are prepared and ready to work with him. This week we're doing a plan of the extension of the secretariat's work.
Okay.
And part of it will be an M&E process that will a subcommittee of the steering committee will join us to do in every institution to understand clearly as to where we are, and from there they will do their own independent reports. We will help them to do that.
Okay,
Golo, they will present that to.
Golo, I come back to you. Abdul Fatoma don't join me at the studio this morning. Good morning, Abdul, and welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you, Lamrana.
Yes, it is a pleasure, and thanks for the poll you're doing. You know, it's providing data for us and the media and helping with the conversation. Well, I want to ask quickly. You're part of the steering committee, CHRDI?
CHRDI is part of the
CHRDI is part of the committee.
Yes.
You get any position as to the implementation of the recommendations? Am I fully aware with the reports where they show say we get only about 50 or so % where they ongoing where they don't implement and they in the process of implementation?
Inside the steering committee and outside the steering committee, we position always been done consistent. That we challenge with certain issues, we can to practice and processes and procedures. So as a steering committee, we be guided by the terms of reference. So I always draw the leadership of the steering committee or the secretariat on the provisions and where they inside the terms of reference we bind the operations of the steering committee. So during the last meeting, I also privileged for be part of that meeting, and I raised issue where the international community agreed with me. Like I began concern with frequent meeting, and also we approve our processes. If we act on procedurally, we will get a very bad result. Even the result happen for be good, it will be faulty because processes and procedures not follow. So the steering committee was serve as an oversight body to the secretariat, meaning either technically therefore be the board way for oversight the function of the secretariat. So approving budget, approving work plan, it will be the primary responsibility of the steering committee. But since we joined the steering committee, I talked in the last meeting, I only sit down at one meeting where we approve 3 months activities and 3-month budget. But however, the secretariat don't work, it don't function. We they say I'm invisible, right? And beyond 3 months. But without the approval of the steering committee, we me no attend that meeting and I raise them and no objection no day to that. Nobody not tell me say no, you not been there, but we do that. They're not able. So it go on. So it come now about the extension. The question we've been there on the agenda, if there is a need for let the steering committee extend the operation of the secretariat or even the steering committee itself. I talk say, if money dey, let them extend them. But if money no dey, I not see no need for let we go actually, extend the operation. And the UN representative, when the resident coordinator we been there that meeting, it totally supports my idea that if the steering committee and the secretariat, that much cordiality not in terms of
and that is what is happening, right?
So no need nothing. So when you look at them thing and it's troubling, it's concerning. I don't raise the issues and not once in a meeting. At the meeting day, outside of the meeting. And it discomfort a lot of people. And I'm happy that then they get discomfort. And me happy that when I go home, I'm able to sleep soundly.
The issue of the implementation of this process and Unayon role as civil society, has it been recognized and effective within the steering committee and serving as a watchdog between the government and the opposition? Because I expect at this time, outside disagreement, they so we will expect Sludge, CHRDI, Women's Forum for come out and say, no, we think this is what is happening and this is the reality.
But Laura, that don't happen. Like I say, CHRDI, I know they talk about other organizations.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I know you're talking. Yeah, I'm saying collectively. Is it that when I get the space, when I able to get the space?
Oh yes, like I they criticize things away.
No, what I mean within the secretariat, as civil society, for work collectively as watchdogs of people the way they supervise or monitor how this process they go between the political players.
No, we not be invited for serve as a monitor. We be invited on the table for be a full participant, not observers. So we they participate in the process, and then no time no day they remove mic na me hand when I really they object issues them when I think say they're not procedural and they're not there in the correct way. And there is no other time they refuse for saying invite to me, because the last meeting I appear for be very ruthless and very objective. So then still they give me that opportunity. But then, like I tell you, when processes and procedures not follow, even you do good work, that good work they will be watered down. So now, the first work plan that will be approved. Now before less civil society, the APA, and the media where Sludge they represent, for let them get a huge chunk of activities where they go do to their own constituents and the people. But never in my experience and my knowledge that money allocated to neither Sludge or civil society organizations for implement the work plan we will approve. So the idea was that the secretariat they function fully, then go do their own programs, do their own engagement, do coordination. But when it comes to public engagement, civil society and political parties and the media began their own critical role for play. So therefore be recognized. So without going through that process, we're not able to foresee any tangible gains. And this, now the other concern we I be bring come to the knowledge of the steering committee and development partners that we've been doing at that room, that fateful day, that have been Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That meeting may be take place in conference room. I bring the observation there that the way the whole process they go is like in the undermine the implementation process, meaning the quality service way when I bring key players in on the table for, we know they see that service.
In your observation, Kolo don't mention about politics, don't get this conversation with other people, always say, because of the players the way they lead the process, both from government and opposition, are people we get political interest, aspiration, ambition, it don't affect the process. Everybody will hold on their own parts and nobody know at least somebody else dominate them. What's in your observation and your engagement, what do you think say now the fundamental issue with this whole tripartite steering committee, the implementation and the process?
The entire process is a political process. So you cannot have a political process that you want for detached politics from it. So what thing I think for they talk about is, are we having a dirty politics in the implementation of the tripartite, recommendations? So when you even take a look at the entire posture with the implementation, both parties are not sincere to the people of this country. Both the APC and the government of Sierra Leone, they're not sincere to the people of this country. Hardly you see few APC people where they talk about the recommendations, even make the +4, where the government always recognize as an annex, that they not agree for incorporate and fully for become 84 recommendations. Yeah. And if you the part of a process, you genuinely, you say you enter there in good faith. When I don't agree on 80, then you carry another 4, you believe, say, these are very good things. And your other counterparts say, that 4 they not go be acceptable, meaning they know when the process will go on. So from that onset, you they also abstain until you get to an agreement. If the 4 no they go, 1 go, 2 go, or 3 go. But the point that say we don't agree, then you say this one, they be, and you don't include that inside the process. The time for present, and guess what? Even I don't they meeting them where they raise concerns, say that very annex not ever surface in State House during the presentation. So who say he left? And who that they inside the APC, we don't tell the people of this country who said that annex they left na road. Able claim Tower Hill for enter inside State House. When you also look at conversations that will go on within development partners and the government of Sierra Leone and the APC, they talk very goodly about some of the few recommendations that we don't complete. Very goodly, eloquently. But when they are outside, the word is nothing on it. So you don't see this kind of about dishonest thing.
So sincerity not there.
No, you know the sense or notice any sincerity in the entire implementation process from the two parties. This you not go blame one party, you left the other one. People look at the APC leadership. If you not possibly totally denounce 2023 election, automatically you get following a hero. Where you denounce and reject 2023 election, you get table you get space at the table at the next meeting. If you stand as an objective individual and look for the way forward, you know they get seat at the next meeting, at the high table. And when you see this kind of thing they go, it draw we back into the 60s politics. Exactly what did happen. The collapse of system in this country. The lawlessness For example, if we look at lawlessness, you take a look at the parliament, judiciary, two arms of government before come to the executive, where they display a blatant sense of disregard to laws, processes, and procedure, where they make me and you as a citizen become discontent about the system where they govern with. Then people, they do things with impunity. It can't be now in this country, the moment you don't popular, the moment you don't be politician, you for there above the law. You for do things with impunity. And if you then have power, you and your relatives them for disrespect law and order with impunity.
Abdul, quickly, before I get Golo for react, then we can talk about the pool. I just want to ask this question. This whole process, where President make the declaration at Parliament, say we're going to have this agreement for national unity, this dialogue, and coming to this, it clearly say it don't go to elections, it don't complain. Other people and they complain. And for address this problem, so we go into an election, where even if complaining day, but people understand say there are processes and procedures. Are we at a point, we get like 2 years to election, are we at a point who say the problem will be unsolved, we still find it difficult for solve that problem there?
I think we don't even have for solve the problem because of insincerity. We make an effort that we need for recognize that we made the effort, but for say we don't even go closer for resolve that problem, I'm gonna far from it. As we speak, many citizens they don't know the status of census. And census, the politicians they only set up a committee for participating in census about boundary delimitation exercise. How many votes they come in, that the constituents, the ward, the region, where they think say now then strongholds them. But failing for realize that because we be non politicized census in this country, make we not able for determine how many dam we need for provide water. People that don't grow up in this city. This city gained in municipality power back in 1893, right? Or 1896, with 1890 something, yes. But still, this city not able for cater for the basic thing them for citizens them or even the resident them at the city. Because we they politicize things the way they help for level framework development. Census now one. When it comes to legislation, if we count on political participation, then at the only time you see say the two main political parties get interest. Like the other economic challenge political party, they don't have interest in anything past election day. Pass for endorse.
Golo, and Abdul, they sit on the steering committee, and you've heard from him, and he thinks, there's been issues, and he's been raising them concerns there, and unable to address them. And like I say, the president in his statement, na parliament, to announce this whole process, now for address challenges, them we get for do with election. So as a country, we're able to address them by 2028 and other subsequent elections them. But Abdul say we're not able, we not even start for it. There is insincerity, with the secretariat, the things that will happen with the people that we involved.
I think he has right to his opinion around the process. He's a member of the steering committee. That's not true. And at the steering committee, even before, the other first thing I want to say now that's Abdul now being a member of the subcommittee of setting up a series of processes at the steering committee, and I worked with him. The terms of reference, for example, even onto the terms of reference for the secretariat. We also worked on the work plans and budget issues. Is aware. now the steering committee meetings, we will produce 2 sets of documents, the terms of references. But also we will produce a 3-month budget and an annual budget for 2025 and work plan. Not possible for make institution work. He know that. He's a development person. It's not possible for make institution work if you not get handy.
But he only said they approved 3 months budget.
Yeah, 3 months. I don't get problem that we get 1 year.
That very day they will do the 3 months. The next slides and talk about annual budget, annual work plan.
But that was not approved.
It was presented to the steering committee. There were very clear impressions that will be need for review, but it was in principle that don't come before the steering committee. One of the other meetings now, he not attend. So himself can attend once a while, he not attend.
But they always rate committee members to get information if they're not in the meeting.
So that's what I'm saying.
It was never approved, and there is no minute that can justify that we, as a steering committee, will play an oversight role, that an annual work plan was approved, an annual budget was approved. Bringing a document before a committee not mean say the committee don't give in full consent. We voted on the 3-month work plan. We voted and approved the 3-month budget. But then it is true that an annual budget was set up, and we were asked, the committee the secretariat was asked to review, and bring and come back forward for approval. But then I raised this thing on 2 consecutive meetings. Like, look how sometimes they even set up meetings. Then they just tell me Wednesday that Thursday meeting day, or Tuesday, Thursday meeting day. 2 times at the Nigeria, they say meeting day tomorrow. I can't. Are they away? But are they same representative from the organization?
Nobody never.
So first we get the record.
No,
we go prove that.
Allow me, please. Let me say talk now. You don't talk. So first of all, no meeting, no dinner is steering committee except it's an emergency meeting. We will be, within 1-2 days. Hearing? Why? Because part of the people and within the steering committee, they come on upline camp. Paramount chiefs, mayors, they're not half of them not in a freedom. So now upline they come on camp. So no, it's not possible for me to call meeting today for tomorrow. And most of the time, all the people are there, they attend meetings. So down there, now one of the issues down there. Even this last meeting, where you check, in find an official letter, now in the send, now over a week. So that they fine. For make we clear. All the meetings the way my brother not attend, nobody not represent her. Maybe go don't tell person say can at the meeting, but the person not come. And that they not go stop, say the meeting don't go, because always anytime we call steering committee meeting, quorum day. For continue the conversation. I have told you, I say in record, one person will not attend, but consistently they delegate duty to a member of parliament for can attend on his behalf. Now the minority leader.
Honorable Abdul Kagbo.
Yes. And that person they come and they participate effectively. So there is a sense of organization around them process them.
But if Abdul way in a civil society as well, they raise this concern about the work of the secretariat, and this is not from the opposition, because these are some of the concerns we themselves don't raise. How inclusive is this process?
So let me tell you, when I take over the secretariat, I engaged him. I visited his office. We had extensive conversation about the work we do and how we hope we could work together. And 1 year this man, no one day can the secretariat itself.
You also I can go the meeting then now.
No, the secretariat who say in there is different from outside the meeting the whole.
Okay.
So like we go say that me was, a certain committee member that me was, me I don't go further as the coordinator of secretariat. We don't get over 1 hour conversation and more.
This is quite interesting.
I go say, okay, me I can visit. Me I even just come for can see how the secretariat look like and what they do. I know one day see how. Now, second committee meeting they meet. I know say in the course of the work plan processes, I mean a lot of engagements we supposed to be around them. And me I go do due diligence around and they ensure say the secretary to the steering committee understand all the issues.
What's in them function? Are they talk about
so
them for able right, but it also talk about them for able like slide able right information training of people. You know,
we believe that there as well.
But that has that happened? Has that been happening?
So like I said, CHRDI has undertaken processes around the Tripartite program. And maybe supported by another organization, but not from government funding. SLAG, IRN, and the other are also undertaking processes, and they link up with us. We give a lot of information. Mr. Seguin, just like what they can, and they go down the programs them. Would they go give information and they would they invite them to processes who they hold? Yeah. So now that way they forbid, but it also be hold on the organization as member of the steering committee for engage with the chairperson of the steering committee for make them get other activities that we go move that
but
process.
He said that if it's been raising these concerns, it's been raising these issues about the role and function, about budgeting, about own function as well, but things he's not been listened to, right?
Exactly.
And I know he holds a lot of meetings with the chairperson. And it's on the tripartite process. I have been informed on severally that the whole bilateral conversation with the chairperson on the tripartite implementation process. He has never come back to me to say this is where we are, this is what the issues are. So like I said, the secretariat is an auxiliary of the steering committee, but there's also the secretary to the steering committee between us.
When are the permanent secretary?
When are the permanent
the office
secretary
of the chief minister?
Exactly.
So this, I would just want to clarify this issue about budgeting. Who therefore approve the work plan and the budget of the committee?
Now the steering committee and the implementation of the approval for the implementation, they will be secretary to the steering committee.
So the 1 year where they talk about, apart from the 3 months, was it approved by the steering committee?
Yes.
What he's saying is...
Well, I have said also to you that there being a set of meeting he didn't attend.
Okay.
But there are means to prove that. He also knows that we also got some grants from international ideas. And that also supported the processes.
Okay.
He also knows that we also got some grants from UNDP. And that also supported a set of processes across the country. He's aware. Yeah, once you attend the meeting, even if you don't attend the meeting, but you then at the WhatsApp group, the informations, they go to that group there. And I know say in the comments there, in the see the information. So this is where the other issue is. If in the cause we not attend meeting, it been delegated to somebody before don't brief her.
Okay.
But if you didn't get briefing, then it means that person did not attend. And me, I think say, if you been also they very strongly link up with the secretariat, if you forget most of the information.
Okay. Abdul, quickly, maybe you go and respond, but I want to talk about the pool as well.
Yeah, let's just respond briefly.
Yes, quickly, yeah.
Just for clarity's sake. You know, when I talk, say, the steering committee, they inform me Wednesday for Thursday or Tuesday for Thursday. So now, evidence here on May 27, we get a notice we say on Thursday the 29th we forget meeting, the 27th notification for the 29th. That waiting I say that we they get just a 1 day interval. 1 day, then the other next day we forget meeting. This that they notice, the very site where they say I can go comment, the WhatsApp group, the records and they. So then I wish the office get
emergency. Emergency meetings.
Not to be emergency.
We gonna need quick action.
No, not to be emergency. If you read other meetings, then I can show you other one back. If you want, I will show you other one back. We bring in just a 1 day lab. The next day we forget meeting. I can bring them. I know they talk on speculations. And they talk on fact. If in office, the building where in office currently there, if only then we get CCTV and that CCTV is functionable, that CCTV they for be done deliberately disagree with and say, me no ever go na in secretariat.
So you don't visit, say?
I don't visit on any invitation. We don't sit down. The time when he procure the furniture for the secretariat, it take me round. He introduce the staff them to me. You know, the one the way them be don't hire by them. Not a treat have been there. Where I see them. If only it gets CCTV in office and then CCTV then did them functionable. I sit down in office index. It get a HP printer, white. It did by somewhere in left hand. It get a roach freezer. Then the AC.
So you describe it.
Yeah, I mean this office one day go, but then I tell you exactly how it is. Then the conference table will come for meetings where stakeholders and can usai they engage them. The conference table they immediately where you enter. Then you get the staff them, you get the support staff them with it. Then you know other staff them in the way don't work now, SLBC and others will be known they. At the whole bilateral meetings with key stakeholders in this country in politics, outside of politics. I don't hold bilateral meeting, me, not even bilateral, tripartite meeting, me in with the chief minister based on concerns on the very tripartite. And I don't also raise me discontent of how things they go now the meeting privately back the same bilateral way say get the information, reliably get the information. Maybe not the chief minister tell and that. I register me dissatisfaction about the way things they go. I never cover that. I don't write that on my personal statement. I mean, on my personal Facebook page. Inside the WhatsApp group, now the secretariat meeting, I don't talk on the radio, not on the first radio this one, I don't talk.
So you does it dissatisfied the process?
Yeah, I mean on the talk and even on 98.1. I don't raise concerns. So for let the register say the whole bilateral, the most serious thing here. Now for say this man not ever go to my office. You don't go to me, and that time the blackout been this safe. So we discuss, we come on, we take picture.
It was not an official meeting, my brother.
No, the visit
where you come visit me was personal.
No.
But you don't go to your office.
The visit, so let me not talk about her.
No.
This man not ever come to we
on an official
process.
You are brother that was
me.
I will visit you personal. But I cannot go to your office for personal.
So that is very clear. Besides that,
but it's a big office. I see they describe inside.
So now I explain to you.
It
personal meeting between.
No, we don't come out.
No, we will say don't come personal. For now we can discuss
officially
on tripartite. That has never happened.
But you say on the whole meeting, including with the chief minister. Right?
Now when me inform the chief minister say we need to get some conversation with civil society. And the chief minister tell me say, in fact, he don't call this man for me come to a meeting. So it was coincidental. So I had to wait until he came for that meeting.
Jesus Christ.
This is very open, and I want him. Yeah.
But frankly, as he's saying, they don't raise them concerns their way they raise so and unaware of them.
He don't talk on a core of issues. He don't talk on core of issues in the steering committee meeting. Nobody go talk sit down, they be. But virtually, it's the secretary, the secretary to the steering committee and myself who will discuss them and will find way for solve them process and But like I said, in the core of meetings we hold, it can be 2 days for a meeting. There are several other meetings that we have held. It will be at least 1 week. Because, like I said to you, half of the other people come from the provinces and they require time for camp. So I will give 2 days meeting, 2 days for meeting.
So
except
otherwise, need an emergency?
Except otherwise, yes. We will need a quick engagement.
Okay.
And that one they said, even before that information could don't come out, we go on phone with a set of actors for make them not say meeting go day.
Okay. Abdul, quickly, I want to talk about the pool where you don't carry, and some of them get for do with the recommendation from the tripartite as well. You do first one when on the PR and the first past the post and waiting people and think about them. And the recent one where you do is on the APC boycott of governance, where they happen right now. They're not attending tripartite, the secretariat meeting, right, as you mentioned earlier. Waiting to inform them pull away they do and how then they help for the state institutions, the opposition, and the public understand waiting they happen actually in our governance space.
Actually, opinion poll in primary objective now for collect the reaction, the behavior, the attitude of the atmosphere, and you get for ask a very neutral questions. We inform the situation, not the community or the country. And when you collect the result and you analyze them, it can able for help government or political parties for develop them plan or them focus or redirect their agenda. So we look at, say, a very topical, with the topical issues that we will talk more now on the constitutional amendment. But then you see politicians and they in a studio or civil society or other key players them, they speculate figures without even a random sampling done on that data. So we decide for fill that gap using digital advocacy, for ensure say citizens are well informed, and this represent the pattern and behavior of citizens and not them concern this. So now in that way we did do and we did do through we WhatsApp channel, we did share around multiple groups, like one particular one day share up to 200 and something shared, and we able to see the overwhelming reaction on that day. So when you look at the constitutional amendment, citizens then get a huge disagreement on certain provisions inside the bill. And like the other one where they say, if you're not a presidential candidate, you get a matter in a court, the need for suspend that you proceedings there and ensure that say you go through your electioneering process, and if you become president, definitely you immune now. So citizens overwhelmingly disagree with that approach. And then you get the other one where citizens are overwhelmingly they in agreement for now get a date we now permanent say every 1st November Saturday, the first Saturday in November after every 5 years of election, that other Saturday date, now we will get election. So we get a permanent date. You get overwhelming. Then when you come to the first past the poll, you see that say first past the poll get a high interest, and the proportional representation get a lower interest based on the poll result, where we get. And that they come clearly. For me, I think the government, they position themselves with the PR, but they're not able to do a proper civic education for tell the people them the important and the non-important, the advantage and the disadvantage. Not only for
is it showing that people not get awareness? They don't understand the system?
Yeah, we also ask about that, awareness about the electoral process.
Or is it about not knowing the usual talk about not knowing their MPs?
When actually you talk about accountability, not knowing their MP, if we know we even do, you remember when 2016, 2017, we launched a campaign at CHRDI. We be parliamentary accountability. We'll talk about 120 billion on community development funding gone missing, and they not be able to be account for, right? And I be pay a price for that. Then they arrest me, they seize me passport. They even say I don't commit treason, right? So when you look at the thing, and a lot of people they even first past the post, people that may talk say they don't know the MP. They're not Sabian. So it has been a normal thing, even first past the poll and also PR. Waiting we're not actually able to focus on an in-depth civic education about the electoral system. When emergency come, we will just call one expert on election. It can give you a textbook theory about how first past the poll day or how PR day. But forget an in-depth conversation with citizens about the electoral system, we get huge challenge. Even first past the poll, people complain that this country, they don't know who that
a lot.
So not only the PR. So if we don't get that problem, we for no say something wrong.
So what's in this poll? What do you recommend from CHRDI in situations like this?
No, I mean these are the reaction of citizens. Government need for look into the reaction. Government they serve the people. Governance is about laws, system, institution, processes, practice for protect and promote the fundamental right of citizens. So any government will say in order to listen to in people, I don't think that government they want for govern in people. So government need for listening.
You think say government should we have an amendment bill in a parliament already where they talk about PR. You think that should be reviewed again and we get another open conversation about this?
Currently, the government through parliament open conversation space towards this amendment. So there is still a window of opportunity for get a more diving. Either more public education for get the PR system, more public education for get the first past the poll system. But let we try as a country, let we people that understand we electoral system. We currently there in a confused state about which electoral system we fit we or we're useful for we don't make a lot of gain for we. Because each of these systems, we don't cry them down. Either they say first past the poll get violence, the first past the poll also, no they get people and data and constituents will not get. But then when you look at, we say we want for decentralized government. Then you look at the deficit in resource, financial resource, we lack the capacity. And the human resource.
Okay.
For example, if you not get money for pay the required staff them where the local council they need, meaning you they get human resource problem. Not only the financial, they're not able for provide the services and good things that they need for do for the locality. And then locality there are now the people that will vote for government.
Yeah.
Right?
Abdul, quickly, while we run to we get the
boycott.
Sorry, we get.
Okay, you all run to the boycott because
the boycott. Yes, so we get some technical issues, so time they run. They won't be on time. But quickly, the poll where you do on the boycott say 76% view the boycott negatively, and 72 say it arms oversight, and the public prefers participation over the ongoing protests, with 68% feeling democracy is undermined. Key points include that only 26 support the boycott integrity, and that 72% note harm from the lack of opposition.
Yeah.
So the people are saying the APC shouldn't boycott; they should participate.
They need to go back and represent their people. I mean, the thing is that, like I've been telling you about the insincerity in this country. The 2012 openings of Parliament, former President Nkrumah asked for incollegism, where even the advice say they're not for boycott. And he tell them, say, the people might don't boycott them one, and they will be the boycott in Parliament. And in being the advice Parliament say, boycott not to the solution, dialogue not the solution. So where do we miss that now in this present day? If it was not good, if boycott was not good in 2012, why is boycott good for 2026? Right? I mean, sincerely, let's ask ourselves that question. Challenge na Parliament, let the public see, say, Wuna don't challenge, say, Wuna no want this particular person for be approved. You can protest at Parliament, challenge the issues, let the public know. But currently creating a vacuum, playing an oversight. We they work with the Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights. Then be supposed to look into the report we'll get from the Correctional Service. They don't write letter to the institutions that we're concerned. But because now an APC member of Parliament, they head that committee, when then public notice come, it suspend that function. So imagine the people that way they Panemba Road maybe belongs to that district where this MP are common. And now, if we don't play a statutory role for ensure that the unlawful and arbitrary detention with them people they in, it's not justifiable under
so
law.
So the boycott affects human rights, addressing human rights.
A lot of issues.
Okay.
A lot of, so now you make you see the citizens' reaction, towards the boycott process. I mean, you can then get the whole right for hold the view that say now one of them democratic principles or democratic right. It's good, but how you they boycott without a backdrop?
Okay.
And the problem where I think say they also affect political parties and more in the opposition now leadership crisis.
So you think say the APC get that right now?
Currently, I think the APC get leadership crisis. Currently, I strongly believe that. Look, when the actual chairman, when he be very active and well, he be so much level-headed and magnanimous for engage the government for resolve tension issues.
You mean Alajimin Kailu Mansari?
Issues that were very contentious. Now under intended we get this tripartite, they're able to come to the table for do the thing. So the thing will make we go into tripartite is heavier than
waiting they happen presently. So are you saying the current chairman, Ambassador Osman Hassan,
when you look at the actual executive not getting full composition, you not get the chairman, acting chairman.
There is the deputy. So
now acting, now deputy, but now acting. The substantive. If he then be just one that they know you put deputy, then no.
So you believe say it's lack of leadership make we they get to this point within the board?
Leadership challenge day currently. I mean, some may accept another hat, some may not. We pay price for saying these things openly. And some we disagree. But when you look at now, even there is this conversation. We all they use backdoor channel for see how we'll end this process. I don't talk to political leaders and at the APC.
You're not satisfied. They want return back now, Parliament.
Yeah, someone for return back. But then I also don't talk to the leadership about how them for resolve, some of the leadership, how them for resolve this issue, either from flag bearer or executive members. Them, you can imagine that one of the senior leaders and executive members get an appointment with president, but because incumbent don't know now, say, in don't get an appointment for go talk to the president how for resolve this. He not show up to the time we if we meet with the president.
Out of fear?
Either out of fear from his colleagues them that they now don't can get known to this particular thing. And this person get an influence, right? Where maybe meeting, therefore don't see a way for dialogue and let we get out of this as a country. Because this is not only affecting their party, it hit seriously on this country. Operations. I agree. Budget oversight, we get lack of function into them issues and then if we want to move forward as a country, we will hold back. Then this remind me when we abandon the recommendation or the text that inside the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. In the 60s, this similar scenario show up when dissatisfaction been there over election. Then you get a military coup where we take place and hand over power.
Okay.
So I mean, we need for end. We can talk to the mayor very briefly and very much sorry about that. Because of the technical issue we get this morning. But Golo, the secretariat service affected by the boycott of the APC. When I get people and a representative from the opposition, right?
The steering committee.
The steering committee.
Of course.
So it affects on our work, right?
Virtually, because the opposition now a core member of this process here. That not still mean say quorum not in there for the steering committee meeting. No.
Okay.
Quorum in there.
And when they go ahead if they're not there.
Well, then the decision of the chairperson of the steering committee.
Normally, the two people can go most time.
Okay.
Either Unfa Kroma go represent Abdul Kabo, the leader of the minority leader in the parliament, or Yvonne Akinsoya.
Okay. Well, they can talk to the mayor.
Or the mayor na McKinney.
Okay.
The mayor na McKinney. And I think there was a time, but the mayor na McKinney. Aware that I don't attend the meeting with the mayor na McKinney also.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you so much, gentlemen. We therefore continue for the take stock as things they happen.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Golo Kata, and thank you, Abdul Fatoma, for our time this morning. I appreciate that. You need for formally go visit Golo.
Not formally. Never go visit a pastor.
We'll take a quick break. We can talk to the mayor briefly.
I can understand. We want to take bulletproof.
You been tell we say make we trust the process, but man it is called the progress of the process. We are in Sudan tie and dirty character. Thief man they all a thief now. This is the batter. I Rasta man me know Eric Cockembull. Me represent blue, white and blue. That's what me have to do. You make the water dirty, you know it make me settle, and then you jump beside. You don't dirty and more. Thief man they all a thief now. This is the batter. Salon they go behind. Who that now we go believe? Who is the wrong side life? Now we they live so. They are latif. Who that now we go believe? It's the wrong side life. Now we they live so. Sorry, sana sana sana, self sana sorry. Who is the wrong side life? Now we they live so. Say a rata, who that get his character? The cap side life. Now we they live so. Salon they well, then just a pan so. Things are go bad, we not depend story. Fake promises and philosophy, yeah. Say we don't tire with these Baku stories. Bring us the rice was the people hungry, yeah. Things are go bad, things are go bad. Things are go bad in a me beautiful nation. What a one. Man them feel conscious, man them feel conscious, man them feel conscious and stand for the right. Is your right? Oh, it's the wrong side life. Now we they live so. They are latif, who that now we go believe. It's the wrong side life. Now we they live so. Sorry, sana sana say na so, but it's na wrong side life. Now we dey live so. Who say Arata, who da get his character? The capside life. Now we dey live so. Salon de poil, then just dey pan so.
Yes, sire. See, I'm conscious of the fact that I've got a moral and civic responsibility to stand for the truth and speak for my people.
Indeed, we stand for the truth and speak for the people. You know, very interesting conversation about the Tripartite Secretariat and the work. And, I've been on reach out to the president of SLAJ. I told him one day that then the representative at this committee, they actually need to come out and explain to we what's in the happen with the committee, because the conversation mostly they get now between the politicians, but civil society where they actually for able to come and tell we say this is what is happening and this is what is happening. So better we had Abdul Fatoma today. Anyway, we'll continue that conversation this some other time. But we'll get the mayor. Don't keep her waiting for too long. Due to the technical issue we'll get this morning, we don't run out of time, beyond time. But good morning, Madam Mayor, and welcome.
Good morning, Lambrana. Good morning, viewers.
I just talked to Abdul, and a pool way do say people are saying the APC should return to governance. You should go and work with the represent the people and do the people's work.
Okay, well, before I get to that, the two speakers before me make a couple of statements what I feel to say necessary for making an address.
You can.
So one of them, Golokata say, the challenge with the implementation of the steering committee or of the recommendations from the APC side include the fact, say, the people that were there at the lead, they're flag bearers, and we be unfair to the people of Sierra Leone because we undermine each other. I want for just categorically say that is false and incorrect. On the contrary, the approach where APC flag bearers and they take in respect of this tripartite and all the issues around the implementation of the Agreement for National Unity, now a testament of the level of unity between we. As I've been sitting on at the hall, the wait for me own slot on this program, me and Dr. Kefala Mera talk. Me and Adi Macaulay talk before Ingo AYV the other night. Me and Richard Conte, we all the talk and work together as a team. So please let it not try for use that as some kind of, red book.
There is no gap in information.
Diversion tactics, for try for good impression, say, APC then they jostle for supremacy between themselves. Now make we think that they go fine. That is so incorrect. If anything, they will don't unify we as a group of people, particularly as the flag bearer aspirants. Now this question of the Agreement for National Unity and tripartite recommendations. Why? Because anybody where they seek for lead this country, where they go into an election, must be concerned for let we ensure, say, the will of the people be allowed for come through. The will of the people be honored and respected. So I just want to put that to rest. The other one way I feels to say necessary before I come on to the question you asked me, what I feel to say necessary. Now for let I just come and buttress, waiting for Fatoma Abdul Fatoma talk about the dysfunctionality of the steering committee. So it will surprise you for note, or maybe not. Sometimes it will surprise you. Sometimes it will be obvious to you. It will sound logical to you. Say the committee, the tripartite committee, will give birth to the recommendations, being an inclusive committee. And I know say you get others we could say, but it should have included everybody. I want to say there may be 17 political parties or 16, as the case in me, I'm not sure how many still there. But when it comes to political parties, we're able for be represented in parliament and in the local councils, now the two. Now APC and SLPP, waiting that to tell you. It tell you, say, the level of support of the other parties so small as a collective. So if you have 14 parties, or 12 of them we sign for that letter of in respect of Edmund Alpha. You get 12 parties, we collectively together not able to produce one councillor, not able to produce one member of parliament, then we can safely say they're not representative of the people of the country. The one that we're able to produce the councillors, where they run whole councils, not the majority in councils.
But people voted for them.
Yes, but it's all a question of proportionality.
Okay.
It's all a question of percentage of representation. So if
and having a seats in a council and parliament
shows that you have a representation way significant enough for make you able for achieve a seat. So we're not to discount them, but what would you say? No, use them for say this is representing the people, because if they mean truly to represent a significant proportion of the people, then they go able for attain seats. So when we talk about the voice of the people, I believe say APC they within their right. Now we na the party we be aggrieved. Now we na the party we boycott from governance. We lead to the agreement for national unity. There were two signatories and a witness of the agreement for national unity. And I think say very, very important for let we not trivialize that. And why are they bring that come up? Because when it comes to this question of the steering committee itself, the inclusive nature of the tripartite committee being supposed for follow through. At the end of the tripartite committee recommendations process, a roadmap being developed, and that roadmap they being show say the expectation was just as there were two negotiators, there were the co-chairs of the tripartite committee. They been get expectations say we go also get co-chairs of the implementation. That roadmap was completely disregarded. But then,
so the implementation part where you talk is there should
the implementation of the recommendations.
Recommendation,
Yeah.
like you have a coordinator.
Well, when we've been there in the process of developing the recommendations, then we get two co-chairs.
Exactly.
You will get Professor Dr. Gaima, you will get Dr. Kafalamara. They sat as the co-chairs in those meetings for 6 months and produced the recommendations.
Is it not the same role the Chief Minister and Dr. Marade play?
No, because waiting happened when the recommendations then come out, when we reach to implementation, contrary to the roadmap, the design was changed without reference to APC. So we ended up now with a single chair of the steering committee when at the chief minister. And one of the things that were very, very important for we all realize.
What's Dr. Marade role? Which
so now we you get two levels. And you may say the other day about specificity. So this is something we people need to understand. You have as the overriding umbrella the agreement for national unity. That agreement they get chief negotiators.
Okay.
So it was previously Dr. Samuel Kamara and Dr. David Senge. Now we don't replace Dr. Samuel Kamara with Dr. Kefala Mara as the chief negotiators for the agreement for national unity. When are the umbrella agreement. Under the agreement for national unity, where in gets the 8 resolutions. Now there you get resolution 3, where birth the tripartite committee and the tripartite recommendations. So that tripartite process will come from resolution 3. In now, the way how the design be envisaged was that INSEF go get co-chairs, but waiting governments do, then bring a single chair when a Senge. And
but is it not because our government they lead the process and the implementation?
You might argue that, but you could also say that if you get the spirit of inclusivity, we're being lead to having co-chairs at the level of the development of the recommendations, then if you develop them jointly, you not go get oversight jointly, because we know they say clearly, you're absolutely correct. Recommendation 80 itself actually talk about the recommendations going to cabinet for approval and implementation, because obviously these are government institutions we get for do the implementation. But the question of oversight, Fatoma referred to repeatedly. The question of oversight. Now, one way you expect inclusivity.
Is that not what you're providing as members of the APC?
So
the member of parliament, yourself, and the other mayors.
Let we go to one mayor. So there are three of us: myself, the mayor of McKinney, and the minority leader, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, in a committee of 20 with 9 government ministers. But all of this, we're there on paper. Now, one thing. Waiting important, not the reality. And I'm so glad the way Abdul Fatoma be able to pull in phone, because I could do the same. I go pull my phone, I go show you the WhatsApp group. When are they meeting, notice they go. But significantly, take note, significantly, when we say about oversight, there was a terms of reference. We don't left the roadmap. There was a roadmap developed which saw, anticipated, and documented how there could be a co-implementation process where oversight was tight and inclusive. We don't left Dandy. The very committee where they operate now, we get in own terms of reference where it developed, and none of waiting and right now the terms of reference for this committee they operate. Let me just give you some examples. I'm going to give you the key one. Terms of reference of the Tripartite Recommendations Steering Committee. Listen to this. To support the ministries, departments, and agencies in developing rollout plans for specific recommendations as it applies to them. To feed in to statutory processes such as the constitutional review process and legal reforms proposed by the Tripartite recommendations. To support, this is developed for this committee where Golokata, they make reference to where I'm a member of. To undertake media and stakeholder engagements across the country to support the objectives of fostering unity and national cohesion. To support relevant public sector reform institutions to undertake a functional review of the electoral management bodies and the implementation of recommendations of the functional review. To oversee and supervise the work of the Tripartite Steering Committee Secretariat. Make I tell you, say, the time where we know, say, we don't get a secretariat coordinator in the person of Golokata. Now, where we see in the post na social media about meetings the way he hold under the title secretariat coordinator. So even his appointment was done without the knowledge of the steering committee. As you heard in earlier, the work plan was with no knowledge. In fact, that 3-month work plan, where references if my memory serves me right, he wasn't in office at that stage. If my memory serves me right.
Okay.
But if not, you mean it in order to change me specific point. And my specific point is that the actions, the functions, all of which are right read so, none of it is being done. And let's come on to the meetings themselves. I mean, you'd expect, say, a work plan, if it's available, for don't be made given to we, the members of the steering committee. We are not in possession of an annual work plan. You go expect, say, as it was written in the mode of operation of the steering committee, say you will get subcommittees, because then the way I described, so we'll do them in a 1-hour meeting also. That requires, and you've been in steering committees, you know that you have subcommittees.
And he mentioned that Abdul was part of a subcommittee of one of the Abdul Fatoma Bindina, one of the subcommittees.
At the beginning, we being involved with that 3-month plan, and then after that, there's never been a subcommittee. As he said to you, when Golo Kata talk about the annual plan and approval, waiting Abdul say, ask for the minutes.
So, Madam Mayor, there are issues there with the secretariat and the implementation, the appointment of Golo. I've been on this course and he explained the process of how he was appointed.
With no reference to the steering committee.
Is it not that now later on a catch up with this?
No.
Or these are issues where una been on the raise with the committee, because I don't see meeting with you, the AG. I don't see meeting outside the chief minister there with the members of the committee and all of that.
So I can tell you, say, this is meant to be a committee way operational. We suppose for Dede not to take over the work of the steering committee of the secretariat, but by definition, a steering committee, for provide oversight, you must have information. You must be able to review the information. You must have reports. I can assure you, say, first of all, as Fatoma say, the meetings typically now 1 to 2 days notice. In the whole of last year, there were 3 meetings. One on the 20th of March, which lasted for no more than an hour. One with development partners on the 29th of May. Then another one with development partners. And when you have development partners, it's more like a presentation than a meeting in September. And there was no other meeting past where they meet so in March of 2026. So the notion that this is a functional steering committee is completely false. There are no agendas except for this one. But actually, we don't withdraw from government. Now, we don't withdraw from government.
Only engagement with but you know, the secretariat gets one very functional website. I don't know if you can access it, get information.
Having a functional website.
Yeah,
we're not day. Let's get our situations or our understanding clear. Then get functional website. That's not mean to say the steering committee is effective. So two different things.
So the point I'm trying to make is, if making go on the website and the access information there, and the committee member like you not get access to the information there, how does it happen? I just want to read one of the news where they put there. APC Chief Negotiator comments Tripartite Secretariat. This was published October 14, 2025. Exactly. He said, I'm impressed with the volume of work done by the Secretariat. And this is in Koto, and I must thank the coordinator and staff for all they done. You are doing a good job here, and I want you to keep it straight that way. Chief Negotiator on the Tripartite for the All People's Congress Party, Dr. Kaifala Mara, we've been the talk way pay courtesy call to the steering committee.
Great.
It means
no, to the secretariat.
To the secretariat.
Yes.
On Tuesday, 14th October 2025.
Absolutely, and that was just after the APC replaced Dr. Samir Kamara and appoint Dr. Kaifala Mara into that position. In that same period, he also meets with the AG. He also meets with the Chief Minister in position as the chair of the Secretariat of the steering committee. Now, waiting you not know and waiting the website not go tell you is that subsequent to that, in position as chief negotiator, in that meeting with the other chief negotiator, he proposed, say, we need to have more information. Of course, you compliment and motivate the people working in the Secretariat. Absolutely right and proper to do.
Now later he realized that not the reality?
No. He not say they're not doing anything. I mean, and the point of the matter is,
I mean the things that are coming out now. Because if we commend them this way and una we don't they attend meeting, they say no, we don't have access to documents.
He knows
meetings are not called.
He knows. But when you day in diplomacy, there's a way in which you engage, right? But what was important was that he also write to the chief minister and say, moving forward, I recommend that we begin to work more closely together. I request this document. There were documents where he request. I request a subsequent meeting. I can tell you, say, from that letter where he writes to the chief minister in October 2025 to today, not get reply.
From the chief minister?
Indeed. And I can also tell you, say, waiting me when you read from where they tell you the terms of reference. Now, a letter where me writes to the chief minister in a capacity as the chair of the steering committee, and I will just read the last paragraph very briefly. This is a letter I wrote on the 5th of August 2025, in which I said, Chief Minister, may I respectfully suggest that given the importance of the implementation of the tripartite recommendations and having in mind the principles of transparency and inclusivity, the tripartite implementation steering committee is urgently operationalized. The oversight role of the steering committee is absolutely necessary, and it is imperative that it be exercised. This is with me saying in the paragraph below, or paragraph above, highlighting the lack of minutes, highlighting the lack of notice, highlighting the lack of operations of the subcommittees, highlighting the lack of time to actually delve into and space to delve into any issues. In short, highlighting the non-functionality of the steering committee. This was a letter written and requesting that we operationalize the steering committee and as it was designed to function, and not have a secretariat that reports solely into the chief minister's office.
But Golo say they've been doing presentation. So
I don't tell you the number of meetings.
Yeah,
so I don't tell you the number of meetings.
Because I'm asking the question whether them issues they are whether they engage on, if then they get contribution to them, they critique
a meeting
them,
which is 45 minutes long.
They do presentation.
Meeting which is 45 minutes long, and you're going, we've got no time, we've got no time, we've got no time. I mean, I've written this, and I'll tell you again, 20th of March, this is the meetings in 2025, 20th of March, 29th of May, and then I think it was the 12th or so of September, in the entire year. No meeting lasting more than an hour. No, with 20 people in the room. That is not a steering committee. You cannot delve into issues of constitutional amendments, ECSL amendments, functional reviews. You cannot do that in the total sum of 3 hours in the course of an entire year. You cannot do that in a room of 20 people. That is why the design was to have subcommittees.
On record,
it was to have
on record,
multiple meetings.
How many meetings them una don't hold, and
the meetings
what
are all right,
issues them una discuss in them in the meetings.
I tell you say this amount of time given is cursory. With a meeting of 20 people, you do not dive in, and that's what you need. You get a presentation, where then they go, ECSL don't present, NSCRA don't present, PPRC, and then you don't have time. You don't get the documents in advance. You don't see the documents in advance. So you are given a PowerPoint presentation, and then you are not given the space, the time, nor the ability for really get into any kind of detail. That is not the way of steering committee function, not also steering committee for function. But I want for come now to your question, if I may, because I'm conscious of the time.
Yes, answer the question. Then I just want...
Okay, go ahead.
No, I just want to we look at, waiting at because the data we, the secretariat put out, me and Golo don't go through them this morning.
Okay.
Then they check, it shows not started, 9% they not start amid.
Yes.
The one that way ongoing now 52%, partially completed 27%, 10% completed, and 2%
non-applicable.
Yes, exactly.
So let me bring some things into your knowledge or to your attention. Golo talk about having a meeting with APC back in May last year. As a member of the steering committee and an interested party, I can tell you, say, in April, in fact, in March, when I looked the date where I save on my laptop, we received a report from ECSL on their own recommendations. ECSL is the bulk of these recommendations, whether now operational reforms or legislative reforms. I will tell you, say, at that time, pretty much everything, 100% ongoing. And we now move in this 1 year on this ongoing. So let we be true to ourselves. I also find it very interesting the differentiation between ongoing and partially completed. What does that mean? But when we talk about some of these ongoing...
You say ongoing are things that could... they get time. Second quarter or nothing else to do with the election calendar.
When you look the election calendar, I can pull up the document from April 2025. Wait until we say this is going to be completed in the next quarter or in this quarter. Wait till we see a lack of sincerity in the implementation of the tripartite recommendations. So in this first few minutes where me and you don't discuss, wait till we focus on just now, was the functioning or lack of functioning of the tripartite steering committee. And to me, that show clearly a lack of commitment to having an open process where civil society, UN representatives / women's organizations, but importantly, the main opposition party, able to get a process, a platform, usai the recommendations, then they really be opened up in front of. Because that's steering committee day for provide oversight over waiting to go on. Open them up. Let we see waiting to go on. Let we say, okay, how about this way? Because a steering committee, by definition, you don't say steering. We're supposed to give input, give advice, not make them put with it. But we're actually just there on paper only. So we don't talk about that. It's non-functional. So that already is showing you
with the implementation. No, agree. Say
wait. No. I don't say. Wait, listen to what I'm saying. No, listen to what I'm saying. Which I say is, the first part of our conversation, because I want to be very clear, let viewers understand whose side we come from as the APC. The first part of this conversation, don't make them clear, say, the steering committee, the implementation framework has been done in such a way for make it non-functional, for make we not get a platform where you get transparency, where you get opportunity for input, where you're able to see the direction in which things are going. Point one. Point two, 1 year after ECSL and the Secretariat provide updates, we get another update where basically not a lot has moved. In fact, pretty much nothing has moved of major significance. Because as I tell you the other day, when you look at the completed 23 to 28, all relates to very minor issues around the internals, a security apparatus, way tangential to the core of the matter. Number 30, now in reference to training, and number 80, now going to cabinet. But waiting very, very significant, and where we not for lose sight of. Now the fact say, when we look at those ones where not start yet, it include 20. Waiting at 20. Recommendation 20. Now the committee, wait for be Dana Parliament. This was agreed, approved, documented, signed off as part of the tripartite recommendations. Then we say, because now APC and government, we say, let me get a committee in a Parliament. We go get oversight of all the electoral reforms we get for come to Parliament. That committee for be chaired by a member of the opposition. According to waiting was their right, waiting they agree. From the get-go, when Honorable Abdul Kabir write to the Leader of Parliament for them sets up that committee, it was refused. So it hasn't started. Indeed, it hasn't started. And when we look at
but it's in the documents. He explains saying ECSL gets reservation about getting that committee, and then independence. I asked Golo that now. He explain about that.
When then develop the recommendations, they not develop the recommendations in isolation. They develop the recommendations. In fact, Parliament was represented. Parliament was represented in those committees. ECSL was witness to those committees. And when it comes to this, I must tell you, say, not only Honorable Kagbo right, in the same way myself right to the Chief Minister, but in the same way that the Chief Minister, as the chair of the committee, when a member of the steering committee write and raise concerns, there was no response. The same way with the Chief Negotiator right to chief negotiator after October, there's been no response. This has been the pattern. So when you come, let's move on to, let's say 1 to 9, of which you get ongoing and partially completed day within this. These relate to processes within ECSL. We get an EU consultant. We don't work in there, embedded in there, develop these processes, these procedures for adoption. Look then, Sidom. Of particular note is recommendation 14. We talk about the voter register, where in that case, you can get a UNDP funded consultant, spend 2 months working on an assessment of how we go do, listen to this because this is key, how we go do voter registration and results management at the disaggregated level, forget the results polling station by polling station, and make sure them filter up. That report was completed in December. To now, to date, it not be shared by ECSL. And these, when you talk about steering committee, these are the things where we're supposed to really get, as the opposition party, get the opportunity to look into.
But this gets timeline, right? Because it says in the report that it's ongoing. 2 international consultants are currently working with ECSL to conduct feasibility studies, and it says it should be completed in Q2 of 2026.
Later, you say the 2 international observers or staff consultants don't left the country from December. The report was handed to them in December.
But the timeline not completed.
But that's their timeline. Because if you look at the original timelines in the report, you go find out, say, almost every single timeline has been has lapsed. So go look at us, say, oh, maybe they were too ambitious, is what I read from what he say in the timelines originally set out. But has there been a situation where you come to the steering committee and say, for recommendation 1, 3, 10, 8, this was the timeline originally in the report, we suggest and propose, say, the timeline be extended as per so because of X, Y, and Z? No, that never happened. You're working to timelines which just keep rolling, because when we look at the report you produced in April of 2025, you gave us dates by which things would be done. In fact, many things then they wouldn't just say it will be in the strategic plan. It will be in the strategic plan with no indication of who sent that strategic plan they go done.
Golo say then role as a secretariat. Now forget some of them things you had done. What they're trying to do is now forget
get undone in secrecy.
No. But he was
without oversight.
No, he was saying that they try for put up a team now where go monitor for see how
self-monitor.
No. What he's saying as a committee, if they don't put on the report say this is ongoing. But the need for know
so
how far
we
propose
as
the secretariats don't play their own part.
So wait till we don't propose at the APC, which is what was written to the chief minister when we chief negotiator writes to him. Where Dr. Kafala Mara writes to David Senge, wait till tell him, he say we propose an oversight a committee we go able or a body we go able give oversight. But also we don't reach now as a party. We don't conclude, say, this is not happening by coincidence. This is not happening innocently. We don't conclude, say, this is a deliberate effort and attempt for stifle the recommendations, the implementation. Why do we say that? We did talk because of the narrative around the implementation we don't begin for happen. You have senior members of the SLPP party where they talk, say, now government sign no to SLPP party. We get senior members of government also where they talk about this being a gentleman's agreement. When you get a narrative like that beginning for develop, and then you see this kind of approach where oversight
is individual views when not reflect, when they represent the SLPP or even the government.
But it reflect in the actions.
No, but
because if you get key recommendations like recommendation 20,
the chief minister has continued. The chief minister don't continue when at the chairman where the lead government's own part. Continuously don't say they have been implementing this whole agreement for national unity, the tripartite recommendations, and very recently it even posted the agreement for national unity and was saying they don't implement everything within that document.
Well, I think this is a good place. This is a very good place for let we do a reality check. Okay, so if you say you don't agree, you don't do everything on the agreement for national unity, and we talk about sincerity in this process, then I actually remember that point there, because if you say you've done 100%, let me look at the agreement for national unity.
You all go with line by line.
Let me go. Let me pick them up. Agreement for national unity. You get them from you. Myself get them.
Yes, I get the resolution. You all go to the preamble or the resolution?
No, let me left the preamble. Because we want to go to the resolution.
Let's go to the resolution.
Because we want to say 100% done. When you say 100%, no, so you not left nothing there.
So let me go to the resolution.
Number 1.
It said the parties resolve the following. His Excellency the President make a national address on dialogue, unity, cohesion, and peace.
Tick. Done.
The APC will end its non-participation in governance.
Done.
His Excellency the President, in consultation with the APC party, will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a 3-way leadership nominated by the government of Sierra Leone, the APC party, and development partners. This body will examine the electoral system, structure, and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. The committee will also be informed by previous elections with a view to highlighting and addressing the contentious issues of elections and the result management, including the collation, verification, authentication and publishing of electoral data consistent with international best practice to enhance the credibility of future elections, Sierra Leone, that guarantees elections to be free, fair, and credible.
So, now take the next steps. The terms of the reference will be developed. The duration shall be 6 months. The recommendations shall be actionable and implementable. The committee will be gender balanced. Now, you ask yourself, when you say done on this, now, waiting done, is it done if the recommendations are not implemented? Is it done if we now have
But some of the recommendations are processed. They're not
So it's in process. Yeah. It's not done.
No, but
so you cannot say 100% done.
In the spirit of doing it, say we already get the process going. Is that process, not done? Now the spirit of what's in this say. So you not be set up the committee, you not get the secretariat, on another get meeting. ECSL not do the review.
So
it's not done.
If you get a secretariat where you set up without on a one-sided notion or one-sided basis where nobody know about until una set them up, you chief minister or chief minister's office una do all the recruiting, nobody else was involved, the steering committee is not involved. If you get a situation where the steering committee is dysfunctional, no minutes, no agendas, no reports, no engagements, no subcommittees, no oversight is being played, if you get a situation where you get specific and important recommendations we're not move, then I don't think you can say this is done.
That's the functionality you mentioned. It's about the spirit of waiting to say.
It will be done when the recommendations are done. Let's move to 4.
So what's in you say on this? It's not done?
I say it's ongoing. It's not done. It's not done.
So even the setting up. But the idea of this is like setting up the committees.
It is partly done.
In your own estimation?
In my estimation, it's partly done because wait, let me get to something. The most important reason we go into money now because of the electoral reforms. Why? We know we had multiple international and local independent elections observers we confirm say the results had statistical inconsistencies, mathematical improbabilities. In other words, the results did not reflect the elections. We had results announced whilst boxes were unopened in Port Loko, in Cambia. We, the APC, no say those results did not reflect the will of the people. SLPP now win that election. We move from governance. We no go court.
We no go challenge an election result and
the challenge where we choose for now been for withdraw from governance. And what was the result from that? Was that we eventually agreed for negotiate with government.
But the issue of SLPP not winning the 2023 election is assumption, because if you have been go court and challenge them, that could have proved whether they win them or they not win them.
Even though we not go court, as you full well know, civil society go court, independent lawyers then go court, then do waiting we before do. They ask for the disaggregated results, and it was never provided.
So
we all know
about challenging the results. Say they not win the election.
The challenging of the results was done through the posture that the APC took. You can agree to disagree, but this is what was done. And the conclusion of that, which may not have come from a court hearing, was that we came to the table, and because we want peace, because we decide, say, let we put not the party first, but the nation first. Let we come to and agree on a negotiation predicated on this one thing. Waiting happened before, not for happen again.
That was also agreed by the president.
It was agreed by the president because he say himself been not unhappy with this.
Exactly.
So you come to the drawing board and you say review the reforms, review the electoral process, and come with reforms. If this process is being stalled, stymied, we get Golokata they come and talk, say it is ongoing, the same level of ongoing 1 year previously, because I have right here the same report from 1 year ago. We still more or less in the same place.
Madam Mayor,
none of the key recommendations don't be fully implemented. Then I want to tell you, say, the position of the APC is that particular resolution 3 has not been completed.
Okay, let's go to resolution 4. The parties to the dialogue agree to the following: release of any persons arrested, detained, or in prison for alleged elections and civil protests informed by a list to be submitted by the APC and other political parties and considered by the government of Sierra Leone. That is done?
We are in the process again. So yes, everybody is aware. Oman no say some people's cases have been dropped,
including you,
including mine. But I get colleagues. I mean, I go use them as another example because we get exactly the same case.
The name in
Madam Yabom, he named in the list, and I know say the list. I mean, one person in all of this where I must commend in terms of own level of engagement with the opposition, now the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. I must commend them. I cannot get this conversation and not recognize, say, it all really show good faith. And perhaps not just workload, but the reality of the situation is the cases then still will not be completed.
At what percentage?
In terms of percentage, I go find it hard for say because you get a mix. You get the COIs where none of them not be done. None of them not be addressed.
The COI is part of this?
Some of the COIs, because some of them are political. The COIs were political. People then they were.
I'm not seeing any side with and
because it's political. Because the political case.
But in
political
cases, of the conversations I've been having is because this I read again. It say release any person arrested, detained, or in prison for alleged elections and civil protest. Informed by a list to be submitted by the APC and other political parties.
Go on to the next one. Go to B.
The discontinuation of any politically motivated court cases.
That didn't
the APC. So APC believes
yes. You get
COI landed to the AG.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we get cases then where people then filed on loss, where they don't disappear. And as a consequence, nothing has been done. But this AG is fully aware of that. He don't acknowledge that, and steps are being taken.
Okay.
But what the point where I make is, it is a work in progress.
Not done it.
Not done it.
Okay, let's go to C. Supports the resettlement of any political party supporters internally and externally displaced due to political intimidation, attacks, and harassment, informed by a list to be submitted by the APC and other parties and considered by the government of Sierra Leone as soon as possible.
That one day more or less done. All the way thing we can realize is the list where we submit, there were people within exile. We subsequently their names then come, and now we did get some challenge for ensure say people who went on the original list, because it's difficult for pull all of that information. Many people that remain in hiding and so on. So we still get a continuation of that day.
Okay. D, that upon assumption of their elective governance position, all elected APC officials, members of parliament, mayors, chairpersons, councillors will have the issue regarding their entitlements addressed accordingly by the appropriate institutions. Then they don't be addressed.
Then they don't be addressed. But if you see specifically that second part, APC share of seats in accordance with the Constitution of Sierra Leone, my understanding from Parliament is that they're still disproportionately represented in terms of leadership of committees in Parliament.
Okay, but the emolument,
so ongoing.
The emolument part has been
addressed.
Parliament to address any issue. Okay, now you mentioned so leadership composition.
Correct. Not completely done.
But
and in fact stalled to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Hopefully, I will enable Abdul Kabir.
Yes, he will able to talk better to that.
Both parties agreed to the institutionalization of an inter-party dialogue framework between the APC, the SLPP, and other political parties. This will be facilitated by the government.
So this one way not is seen for the function very well. There's a PPLC setup, but if you go now to the tripartite recommendation, now you get a bit of a conflict because you get a tripartite recommendation for PPLC. We specifically say PPLC forgets co-chairs. You forget the PPLC, but then you get these two co-chairs of the two largest party, the government and opposition, wait for co-chair, and that meeting everything where ECSL, all decisions being taken, etc., for be brought to that for information. That's not happening. So this again, as written, yes, there is a platform, but it not reflect waiting subsequently come along from the tripartite recommendations in terms of making it as appropriate and effective as possible.
Okay.
So I also put half.
Now go to 6. Both parties commit to re-engineer and rekindle the relationships within the national socio-political ecosystem, such as between His Excellency the President and former political leaders, former presidents and vice presidents, and the APC and SLPP leadership, etc.
Well, I don't think I need for comment on that, because I think we all know who side we there on that one day.
Even at national level, with an executive presently, there is no...
I mean, we just don't give you examples. Besides the fact, say, former president, Ernest Koroma, His Excellency Ernest Koroma, is in exile, effective exile.
Is he not on medical?
He's on medical. He is on medical.
So what you're saying is on exile?
Well, I mean, when we just know the circumstances, I'm not going to say more. But this not the spirit of this not reflect with waiting to happen. But then coming now to you just make reference to me, just give you 3 examples of where leaders of the APC, and that also goes for the acting national chairman, because the acting national chairman also write, to His Excellency the President in the last few weeks requesting a meeting, to which he received no response. Golo Kata talk about engagement, but I just explained to you, say, when we write and raise concerns about the non-functionality of the committee, I write to the chair of the committee, which is what you expect for to be done. Not even an acknowledgement of receipt of letter. Same with the chief negotiator. You get one meeting with your peer. After that, the person will write to you, say, can we meet? It will call you. It will text you. So if we talk about re-engineering and rekindling the relationship with the national socio-political ecosystem, it not look like, say, the one day way now then they in governance, actually the support.
How much effort don't they make?
I just give you some examples.
Yeah,
but there are many. There are many. I mean, I tell you, say, Abdul Kagbo writes for, say, we're in Parliament, our seats, our membership, this committee. No responses.
But there are instances of you and the chief minister don't take photo when they meet.
You see,
the conversations
very, 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 very.
You can bring up these issues to him and the conversation about the concerns and we don't raise.
Oh, I think, say, the bringing up, taking a photo, by the way, is not the same as having an official conversation. And
well, it tells the public somehow. It shows that people get some relationship. They can speak, they can talk.
One of the things where I mentioned we not for lose sight of, which is also waiting APC still to do. We're very, very concerned about ensuring, say, that initial resolution where president make a speech about, because speech is one thing, the actions therefore be followed through by everybody. Dialogue, unity, cohesion, and peace. Then that's something we don't put a premium on. We don't really put a premium on. Now make we go into money. Now make we go na the Tripartite recommendations. Now make we don't bend over backwards. Because when I write to that letter to Chief Minister, I tell and say, I did consider whether or not it even makes sense for us stay as a member of the Tripartite committee. But on reflection, I say, okay, I'm not walk away. Let's stay in this committee, and hope every committee meeting, I continue for raise the issues, flag the issues, say, this is not how this committee should work. These are issues of significance. I mean, you cannot expect for discuss a 80-page report after a 10-minute presentation in 5 minutes. That is not wanting our input. That is wanting to tick a box.
Okay. Now go to 7. The government of Sierra Leone and the APC party secretly condemn all citizens at home and abroad who incite violence, spread hate speech.
That was done.
That was done. And 8, it's a... there shall be actions and commitments by the parties to implement the agreements reached during the mediated dialogue. To this end, the government of Sierra Leone and the APC party commits to the establishment of an independent committee of moral guarantors whose membership shall be agreed by the parties to support and monitor the implementation of this agreement. That's not the Secretariat, right?
No, the moral guarantors are not the Secretariat.
Okay.
The moral guarantors being supposed to consist of members of the international community, those that women come and facilitate the dialogue. So you can get the ECOWAS, you get AUU, you will get Commonwealth. They mean recuse themselves from that and decide to go continue with the process at that level of being moral guarantors. But you can get UNOAS, and then we've been supposed to also get locally the Independent Peace Commission. And I think there was talk about bringing other parties, but for we ever got a final list. The moral guarantors.
This not in existence. You're not aware.
Well, the operations of the international ones.
Because I don't see the meetings with moral guarantors.
The international ones, that was definitely identified because that the one they will facilitate. Okay. But whether or not they then fully develop that. Again, if you remember the way this thing happened, there were conversations in Bintumani which should have led to sort of the expanding of this, but that moral guarantors, the local ones, I don't recall that they may actually ever finalize a list other than the independent.
I think initially it was the APC as well. We've been opposed to certain institutions and being part of it.
So I don't think that was ever concluded. But we don't move
so
forward.
So I don't go blame government for that day.
Well, no, if we oppose them because of what that then put in, but at the end of the day, we need to agree on something. But wait till we definitely move forward with our moral guarantors, the international ones, and on that note, so for be very clear, this note about the Secretariat. So those moral guarantors don't pay a visit, and then they come again in April. Given waiting they go on now, then don't fast track their mission. Then before kind of the end of April, but then now they come middle of April because then see the need in this role as moral guarantors. And coming back to this question of monitoring and oversight, that would be one gap we've been always there. There wasn't really.
Well, I've been seeing frequent meetings.
No, not frequent.
No, I don't see meeting where the chief minister they get from the time where the U.S. ambassador been there. What is his name?
Oh, you did talk about the development partners.
Yes.
So again, let me clarify.
No, but
the development partners are not the moral guarantors.
I just want to ask. Okay. Don't they play that role as moral guarantors as well in the absence of like you say, the one that we've been for day exactly?
Well, I mean,
because I don't see their updates. UNASEF don't meet with them, right?
Oh yeah.
And they give updates about things them own things all right with.
So what's the point where you try for me?
So I'm saying, are they not playing that role as moral guarantors as well in the meetings them own they get with them?
Shall we just read what it says?
I understand what it says, but I'm asking in the capacity when they meet with them, which role are they playing?
So let me be clear on the responsibility of a moral guarantor and then the role of the international community generally. Okay, so absolutely, we don't see as given the role within play because when it comes to even the running of the Tripartite committee of the Secretariat, it's being funded by development partners. The secretariats we go look at us, it's being funded by development partners. So of course then get a role for play. And we don't engage with them from the perspective of making sure they're aware of waiting we see as the challenges, and also waiting we also, having the opportunity for perhaps pass messages on. I mean, one specific request where we make in November of last year to that body where you talk about now for letting facilities, and again you asked me say to what extent has the APC been trying. In November of last year we meet with the international community, and one specific ask was for we're still dissatisfied with the rate of progress of the implementation. We still see a lack of sincerity, which was highlighted, underlined, underscored by the approach of way government take in respect of the appointment of Edmund Alpha. We still see this concern, the pace at which it go. Let's take example, recommendation 38. Recommendation 38 now concerning the census. We have a situation, Usai, we say the census for be done according to the recommendation 2 years before the election, but we see government delay the census by 1 year, and if the recommendations stand without a transitional clause, which was feasible, viable, possible, if the recommendations stand without a transition clause, then you go get a situation where we're going to look at the 2021 very, very botched census as waiting and go use for the 2028 elections. So these sort of conversations all come to the table. We also see the situation where we did talk about how the electoral commissioner for be appointed. So these were brought to the international community, and we asked them for facilitating meeting, because as we don't write, we don't get response. You hear I say that, right? With chief negotiator write, you don't get response. You don't get answer. So in the way in which you talk about the role of the international community, we say to them, well, UNA facilitates meeting. That was in November. We did March. No such meeting has happened. So we actually asked recently, say, is it that UNA forget for try, or na succeed or not succeed? You know? And in terms of the answer we get, I go just left answer because we have not been clear. But what it says, it was clear from the posture. It is clear from the posture of government that these recommendations, now a case of now we be say we not say again.
The first question we ask, now we end with now.
Yes.
Abdul Fatoma CHRDI them pool. People are saying the APC for go back to governance and represent them and do the people's work.
Well, I go take Abdul Fatoma in previous poll where he asked people them whose electoral system they want to forgo it. Where he came out, I believe it was 68%, say first past the post, where they in line with waiting the civil society, their own votes been come out with, where they say only 10.5% being favor PR, where they in line with waiting we get from the Interreligious Council, their own position paper, the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, their position paper, the Waiting Council of Churches Sierra Leone, their position paper, we all categorically rebut the assertion of government, say that national dialogue result in we people then say for use PR. Why are they bring that? Why they bring that as to the table? Because recommendation 78 of the Tripartite recommendations being safe for do a national dialogue. When you talk about a process where the clear to the APC say the implementation of these recommendations, not cherry picking, done as you want, how you want, in order to get the result where you want. If not day we don't end up, and then we are stonewalled in terms of engagement, our role in terms of oversight and being part inclusive in the implementation, the be on paper and not in practice, then we as a political party get for ask ourselves the question, say, when we sign in good faith on the 18th of October 2023, that agreement for national unity, you remember, you just read them. Resolution 2, what it been say? Say we go end, we boycott and return to governance. If now we get resolution 3, we're at the heart of the matter, you might say that the lip service is that, oh no, individuals and talk and say a gentleman's agreement with the senior individuals where then it's where then say you want where you want talk to deaf man, talk to him Peking.
Madam Mayor,
when
the opinion poll from CHRDI says 76% view it negatively, the boycott. 72% say it's arms oversight. The public prefers participation over the ongoing protests, with 68% feeling democracy is undermined. Key points include that only 26% support the boycott integrity, and that 72% note harm from the lack of opposition.
So wait till I'm not going to do. I'm not going to challenge CHRDI then source, you know, because I don't quote CHRDI when it comes to the PR.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to challenge then source. But I go tell you, say we view as a political party, we're not they removed, we they in the pot, as it were. We they right in the heart of the matter. So until we better informed than the general public for able for can to the conclusion there. And I go also tell you say that we don't engage even as recently as 2 days ago. I'm going to talk with one of we members of parliament. We just hold a consultation meeting with own constituents. Me as a mayor of Freetown, I still meet with constituents. We meet with.
And then say go walk.
There has been a lot of positive response to this position. Why? Lambana, mina personally, what I do in terms of my day-to-day work in the council, in terms of delivering services to people, that's something we're passionate about. I am in governance for deliver, not in theory, but in reality and in practice. So it's not easy for me for say, let me step away. But there comes a time in a political environment where you realize, say, you need to take an action in order for you hold to account the ruling government, and this action will
affect
take
services and affect the people you represent.
Because the people where I represent are they
this is a political disagreement.
No, it's much more than that.
Yeah, but
allow me for
land.
It is much more than that. Lambrana, let me not trivialize what is
No, I'm not trivializing.
Okay,
you know what I'm not trivializing? You know what I'm not trivializing? Why I'm concerned about service delivery and what is happening. And no council go to support schools them, right? There are schools where council they support.
Well, let's tell you the reality.
Them will not get nothing for do with.
Let's tell you the reality. Let's tell you the reality.
I don't drive now this city. I see waste around.
Yeah.
I see how it's now health hazard to we.
Yeah.
There are dead bodies around. Their functions, everybody gets in functions. I understand that, but I understand back safe. Me mayor day if council functional, this is something the mayor could raise, and maybe there will be. An amicable solution for understand how to pick them body there.
Let me pick.
For me, that is also important than just
very important.
How elections should be and who should conduct our elections.
Very important. Very important. Let's break them down into a number of parts to this response. I'll go start first with some of the assumptions where to be made about waiting we absence to do in terms of council. Let tell you say when it comes to devolved responsibilities such as education, the devolved functions, council enroll with devolved functions, financed, excluding sanitation. But the one where you mentioned in particular, education, with devolved functions in respect of education, financed by disbursements from government. Okay? Council takes on additional functions because it is just in our nature to do so. We support schools then beyond waiting government ask we for do and waiting government the finance. But note something. For the last 1 year and 3 months, this morning I get a text message and one because now an SLPP mayor and I want sort of like calling name like himself. I don't know how that will be reacted to it on his party side. But at early this morning, 6 o'clock, me and a mayor from the SLPP, the exchange, we're in the expressing frustration, saying that 1 year and 3 months now, government has not dispersed a single penny to any council in this country. So when it comes to functions of where do you expect councils and perform, I want you know say there are many councils where unlike we're not able through me own leadership. Because when I came into governance, it was 48% of our revenue was coming from.
Madam Mayor, that's 48%. The point I'm making.
But it's not only Freetown.
No. But the point I'm making
is not only Freetown.
The point I'm making is even with the challenges of disbursing funds, you've been
zero funds.
Yeah, but that is what I'm
zero funds.
But you've been providing leadership at that council and addressing some of the concerns and challenges there.
Of course, because that is what. Now that's make me.
But you're not there now. The worst in the situation.
But listen to me. I want for when I say something, you take all aspects of what I say. There's something I've said where very significant, where we not for lose sight of.
Okay.
The government where they say we the be as APC, we the fail for do we responsibility, we the fail for meet the needs of the residents. That same government has for the last 1 year and 3 months not dispersed funds to not one single council, that is government's responsibility. When they fail from it. So when we talk about what we should be doing, let we make sure say we balanced, because we reason for stepping out, my own reason as an APC for stepping out now because of this wider question of democratic rules, democratic governance, democratic principles being upheld. But know that even before we reach here, because Lamadan Naya Asidom some weeks ago, where we talk about the issue of the crisis in council, we come before this boycott and waiting in creatum, the Ministry of Local Government being suspend with finance officer without pay for 3 months, even though me as the political head, but who also happens to be a chartered accountant and therefore a technical expert in this area, even though I've been right and tell them say, don't do it because there are technical tasks that only he can perform. The crisis of sanitation, where you see, happened not because of the boycott, but because the budget of FCC was not uploaded into the system for 3 months, and therefore no checks could be written from January to March. So again, let me put responsibility.
It was under this same again, the point I'm making, it was under this same challenge. I remember school buses then parked, there was no fuel.
That offense solution.
Yeah, exactly.
Because me and mayor.
But that is the point I'm making.
But government get responsibility. Government not on pay for the fuel, again, for the school buses right across the country for 1 year now.
I'm not sure any other citizen would say we not blame government for not taking their own responsibility. But as much as we did do that, you say for take responsibility.
Oh no, but not two different things we talk about. We talk about operations and then we talk about a political challenge.
Madam Mayor, it was under this same challenge where you mentioned. I just mentioned, we ran that story that school bus and park.
All over the country.
Exactly, but you intervened, right?
In Freetown, we make sure say we're able for fairness solution. But this same government,
because you were working.
This same government,
but was it because you were in council, right?
This same government.
No, don't clarify that. It was because you were working.
Because I was working.
You've not been there under boycott.
I've not been there under boycott.
Exactly.
A fairness solution. But what can create the problem? What can create the problem? Now a government we say then they for the people. A government we say then they deliver. We not pay for any school bus for the whole of the year for all the entire country. So let's also be very clear about reality. I want to come on to
Madam Mayor, I want
to come on to the dead bodies.
Yes, no.
I want to come on to the dead bodies.
Okay, quickly.
Because that has been a major issue.
Yeah.
Lambrana, it was, I believe, the 20th of October, 2025, when I sat here. You sat there. In conversation, you asked me what the situation was. I revealed the number of bodies on that date. I believe it was at that time 227 dead bodies that we had collected. The response of government, and it came back to good faith. It came back to an approach way inclusive, an approach way collaborative, an approach way interested in delivering outcomes and not in posturing. What happened? I tell you, say, I don't write. I don't even put it on social media. But I'd written to the Minister of Internal Affairs for tell and say, waiting to go on, so I am very uncomfortable. Because Lambana till date, as I talk to you, the conversation is still in the wrong place. The conversation is still about the operations of collecting bodies and not asking the real question, why we get dead bodies on the streets of we city in peacetime. That's not the real question. When we get a conversation, it ended up with a whole series of events. Me being threatened of administrative action, told that I was trying to create, an outcry rather than dealing with the situation. And then eventually, having been called to a big meeting at State House, we were issued with a protocol where we say, don't pick up the bodies.
You never provide some meeting no more.
And guess what? I don't think so we don't get reach 2 burials. Even under that, because then for country with the death certificates or what you call autopsy reports.
Police say then they do. Then they do autopsy and
then we don't get 2 mass graves. We did not request 2. And I believe the number of bodies that we don't see reported for don't pass that, so I don't know what's happening to the bodies. But I will not. Let's also get this into context. APC boycott began on the 2nd of March.
Oh, no, I'm talking about 3 weeks. Body them right now.
No. From October to now, from November 1 to now, so it don't pass the number of bodies that we don't see.
The pool from CHRDI go informed whatever decision the APC could take in getting back.
I believe say what you wait till we see. You may have seen because I was on social media yesterday. Say, interestingly, in the absence of the mayor of Freetown from City Council, the chairman of the SLPP now convene a meeting. Chairman, not the Minister of Local Government, not the Interministerial Committee chairperson, but the chairman of the SLPP party now convene a meeting yesterday with SLPP councillors for can tell them, say, then they can do a framework of operations for how to run the council. Excuse me, I'm a little bit confused. We get arms of God. Waiting at the role of a party chairman in the running of FCC.
He engaged councillors of the SLPP, just like how you party say not gonna governance.
No, but for run the count, I mean, the party say no, but how in the camp into the how in the provide a functional
perhaps he's not giving
review
directive
system.
No, but perhaps he's not giving.
He say for streamlined decision making within the council.
But he was speaking to members of the SLPP. Can councillors them now? They get meeting with just like how una party can get meeting with una, right? Is it not allowed?
But I mean, I'm sure it's allowed. But I'd be very curious about the level of involvement of the SLPP party chairman in the day-to-day functioning of a government institution.
The SLPP chairman not gonna council officer.
You see,
I saw the notice.
You read written at the agreed steps.
The point is.
But let's also
He was talking to government people, members of the SLPP.
But Lambrana,
if APC councillors and MPs go say, okay, we party say, I had Honorable Timbona yesterday and he was saying, he said actually people actually voted for political parties.
True.
So if the party tell you say not do this, you know go do this.
Yes.
And that is what you're following.
But I believe
if the party tell you say oh can get a meeting over a solution and the SLPP members, is that not allowed?
I think waiting we get for make a distinction on, and this is a very, very, very important point in everything we do. We need to work within the context of the law. I don't also Yeri say as government spokesperson say then go remove Mayor Akisoya. There are legal provisions where allow for or create the platform for the removal of mayors and chairpersons.
Okay.
There are sections of the Local Government Act where get for be followed. And you cannot just because a political party take a political action, exercise with democratic right for protest. When I would do so, with the exercise with democratic right for protest, that's not give the government the wherewithal or the permission for now break the law. Because we did work within the law.
Okay.
We did operate. This protest is within the law. It is within our democratic right. So
but
you must also
like
provide
members of parliament. The law provides if they not go such a sitting that then go
30
I don't know what it
sittings.
says for mayors.
Mayors actually know.
Okay.
You can't remove me based on non-appearance at sittings.
Okay.
You actually have to go through a legal process. There are certain criteria, one of which requires 2/3 of councillors for impeach me. The other, which is
Okay.
the president, requires 2/3 of members of parliament to vote in favor of the president's removal.
Okay.
So you can't just sit down and say you pull the mayor and you can't make other person cancel.
Madam Mayor, finally, is there an end to this?
Yes.
What is it? Is it about waiting APC wants being done, or or else will continue for stay out of governance?
So, Lamrana, you know earlier on when you talked to me, when you say about service delivery, waiting we see and waiting we sense, now a pullback from the agreement for national unity from the perspective of implementing the electoral reforms, where we've been saying, let 2028 not be the same as 2023. Or, in the president's own words, as previous elections. We all come together and say we want a future where when elections are done, we go get results where everybody go get confidence in, because the process free, fair, and credible.
Okay.
That now for the benefit of we all. It's not just about having the streets cleaned today. Now about making sure we actually get multi-party, functional, effective, inclusive democracy tomorrow. If we did do this boycott today, now one thing paramount in my mind, Edmund Alpha na been the straw we break the camel's back. But as you hear it from me, I give so many examples. I talk about recommendation 38. I talk about recommendation 78. I know say for the viewers, sometimes these are just numbers, but because of time, I'm not going to go into each one.
Yeah.
Recommendation 14, voter registration, results management, census, use of census, national dialogue being inclusive and reflective. If we see these things are not happen, if we see a situation where the person we appointed circumventing the bill we already in our parliament, in the tell we say as people of this nation say 2028 not get for different from 2023, then we as a political party believe say this is a time we have to stand up.
But very recently, Edmond Alpha don't say their trust issue in ready for work for build the trust of ECSL. They don't send letter to una for even get a meeting. Don't you take him for those words as well?
No, we don't. We don't. Because there's too much evidence. This man was at the heart of all the irregularities in 2023. He was at the heart of irregularities in previous by-elections. But in all don't they, we did talk about a situation in which, as a government as a whole, we don't see a dragging of feet. I mean, the non-functionality of the Tripartite.
Madam Mayor, the government clearly don't make them position on this. I saw a video of the Minister of Information yesterday, Chegnoba was saying their position is clear on this. President follow the law, appointed Edmond Alpha, he has been approved by Parliament. Honorable Tawa was saying here yesterday that it's not even possible for reverse that decision. With waiting APC the request. So Edmond Alpha continues to be the ECSL chair and commissioner. APC will continue to not collaborate and be part of governance.
So what we say very clearly in we recent press briefing is that we committed to peace, national cohesion, unity. We also committed to upholding democratic principles and ensuring, say, as a political party, we operate within the context of the law. But we don't determine, say, this boycott, where we do for good reasons, which I've already highlighted. Now, one step in terms of expression of democratic protest. The next step could be a nationwide demonstration.
And you'll join that?
And most definitely. Most definitely.
You need police clearance as well to do that.
We inform the police. Reading of the law is that there's a requirement to inform the police.
Not getting a clearance from them.
Me not to a legal expert. But I did tell you, say, waiting me understand is that we need to inform the police and work with the police.
As a political leader in our APC, as a flag bearer, if they're not given a clearance, when I inform them, you come out and protest?
As we say, I think this is a position where all of my peers and my colleagues don't take. We not anticipate, say, the Sierra Leone police not go want for be supportive of the exercise of a democratic right. So we're not even countenance, we're not even imagine that. That's a hypothetical situation.
But you were talking about laws, their processes and procedures.
So this is the procedure.
So if the police know...
So what we say is we not anticipate that negativity today. You might want to think of a negative outcome.
No, not a negative. I'm asking if.
No,
that doesn't mean it's negative. I'm saying the police... A lot of people don't apply for protest.
We own position is that expectation is that the police go work alongside the main political party, because we are going to be protesting.
If the police don't meet that expectation,
because we are going to be protesting not only about this, but we believe say this is an opportunity for let we as an opposition party also reflect the issues where so many 90% of Sierra Leoneans per the Afrobarometer study we then do a few months ago say they are either directly or indirectly affected by Kush.
Okay.
This is an opportunity. This protest, we also go to protest about the drugs crisis within the country.
It's not about
the living cost of living crisis.
It's not about
within the country.
appointments.
Oh no, that is it. This is broadening. It's broadening because as a political party,
and una go take responsibility if anything.
As a political party, we believe say the voices of Sierra Leoneans need for be heard.
There's been instances.
And there are issues.
There's been instances.
There are issues that where they really trouble the average Sierra Leonean. For every day, we see just in the space of a number of weeks. Literally a number of weeks, we go from 25 leons to 32
Madam Mayor,
leons.
are you shifting this
protest
from the issue of the implementation of the tripartite or the appointment of the Alpha to economic issues? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're not the shift them, we the expand them.
Oh, we're not the expand them.
And we go to protest over a number of issues. Of course, the tripartite recommendation remain number one.
Political leaders, if anything.
As I say, the position of the party is that we go work within the law. The position of the party is that we seek for hold a nationwide peaceful, underline the word, peaceful protest in respect of waiting we see as government reneging on the implementation of the tripartite agreement.
That's a timeline for this protest?
We go communicate with the general public through the party channels in due course.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Thanks for your time, and we appreciate that you've been patient with me because of the technical issue we'll get this morning will not start quick. But thank you so much for speaking to us this morning, and we'll continue the conversation when UNA decide for communicate with the public about the planned protest. We go Cambia quickly. Simon, you can just show the videos, Mayor the left way. But we go Cambia quickly. We get this information about some Sierra Leoneans who, the Guinean authorities been gathered yesterday and then sent back home. Then they Cambia now. They try for come na Freetown. This is a video where we colleague from Cambia sent with this morning of the people from Guinea where they try for come na Freetown. We they see if we they try for talk to we colleague from Cambia this morning for get a quick update as we they try for close on this situation. I think send they happen. We they try for talk to James Abraham, we na production manager na Radio Collington. We understand say 545 individuals, Sierra Leoneans, we the Guinean authorities them say for come back saloon. And the data we get, I think I can just read some of it and say male na 704. The total number of people where they want bring female 312, children 30, we total 1,000. I will talk to one Guinean colleague with the Guinea this morning. So he said this now understanding, but then they send them by batch. Let me talk to a colleague this morning. Good morning.
Yes, thanks very much, manager. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, James. James, what's the situation presently? You there na the border crossing points na Cambia?
Yes, there na the border we na Balamuya custom post. Of course, we there na the border.
So what's in the situation? Then people are tell you waiting make okay, I think I'm sure you talk to them. People are tell you why they bring them come back.
The people explain themselves that the Guinean authorities them go hold them na one side we na a slum community, na a fishing community. We not give them notice that they can't go to the salon. Upon that, they just gather them, but they load them inside the musta or come with them na salon and Salamuya Naya. As we speak, manager, we dey na the border, inside them we dey na the queue long corridor, because you don't visit this border, you know the Balamoya border post out today. The long corridor inside it, now they put them over 546 of them. One side now they put them. They be done it for quite a long time because of they not opening them. They make noise. Guinean authorities they can't and fire tear gas and then people them. So they be able for scatter now the Balamoya border post. So unfortunately, now the Salon authorities them come. When I say authorities, the police and the military them come with the people. Then they load them now. Bring them to the 11th Infantry Battalion, that Zambia, with 7, so let them process them, locating them at the various destinations. That process is now in the ongoing now present mode.
So the Sierra Leone authorities them don't take control of their individual side, and they don't care now. They don't cross over at the Sierra Leonean part of the border.
Yeah, just what thing I've been mentioned before. The military personnel that come there together with the Sierra Leone police that come there, then they transport them now as we speak. Then they move with them to the 11th Infantry Battalion, that Pebu. So let them process them, let them go with them inside the day. But honestly, manager, the situation will be very chaotic this morning at the Balamoya border post. Inside the Guinea authorities, them fire tear gas for them people, where that tear gas will be very destructive, disturbing the people where they scatter. You know, even some of the people, the officials, them where they are Salon, where they are Guinea, at the embassy, then they come and see what the Guinea authorities don't they do. But they're not able to respond the Guinea side, whether they will engage them. All within at the Salon side, they have tried to fix up things, let them fix up the people, let them give them food, because it's just at night, when they put them together, and they not be able to forget food. So this morning, when they scatter, without the food is himself, without the sky for go send food, without the sky for put himself down, when they don't fire the tear gas, that process they do after that, they talk to them now, try for move them. Some of them start to sing the national anthem, say we don't come now, we don't get to freedom, while some of them say they don't keep their money them, so Jamaica and Guinea, people are Guinea, because they just go book them, they not send them, when they only then they shot you, take what you get, then load it inside the Muska, when no one load, then they beat you, that's way they load you.
So then people they see a lot of women and picking them, right? Then women and plenty, picking them plenty, they right?
Yeah, a lot of women then. Because when you talk about Guinea business, if that is Sierra Leone women then, they plenty in Guinea. And most of them when they go with them, picking them. We talk to them, getting the conduct in a box up. Then they say the economy is very difficult in Salon. So that's why they go to Guinea, this franc. And when they look at the milk and the franc, the equivalency, it's far different off. The franc, they above the million. So upon years, they don't in Guinea. Some of them na fisherman, some of them get a machine, the outboard engine, where they don't left them for particularly, where they go load them. Some of them invoke them go Olam. Yesterday, where they go put them inside the basket. So in both and the outboard machine, everything they don't let them. That explain. It's very soulful, very hard for year from that player.
So then people are confirmed to you say them been done they live na Guinea, then don't they reside there? Nah, not so business no more than go do, but then don't they live there?
Well, most of them don't they live there. But I be also talk to one part the people where they na the embassy na Salon, one of the officials, and say most of them people are not get documents. Sierra Leonean documents. Upon only 6 that are able to get Sierra Leonean documents when a national ID card. Then they left them, give them and not come with them. And say the rest of them, where they go, they don't get national ID card.
They don't get Sierra Leonean ID card, and I make them, they don't get identification, I make them send them back Salon.
Yeah, they don't get Sierra Leonean national ID card. Waiting is and they don't inform them. But still, but on the other side of the people who want to talk to them, they say then they don't understand nothing. When the authority them go follow them, put them inside the Muska, you know, a different story they get. But from the people themselves, they say they don't get no idea of what's happening when they don't know them. And when they look at it, they go say yes, they don't get idea. Some man come, you don't even get blue. Some man can not even get a then just only they loading inside Muska when they explain. And even before you see them, you know, this morning when the Guinean authorities see them, they fire the tear gas. Some of the boys them demanded, then jump them go up the building at Balamuya, then begin jump candle. Some of them their foot go. You know, as we speak, and then at the level of party battalion, the number is really plenty. It's really plenty where Sierra Leoneans them don't face with Guinea and then they continue for Peter. Because this is not the first time. It don't happen last year and it don't continue to happen. And this time back, it don't happen yesterday and this morning.
Yes. But during the firing of the tear gas, nobody, no damage, and no sustained injury. The people are all safe, and the military and police, they help them now for moving to the barracks, right?
No, people have sustained injury. What didn't make them two guys their foot broke, the side where they go claim. When they fire the tear gas, then try for secure themselves, then jump candle. Upon one in jump, as they land the foot, the toe, the feet, the bone broke. Two of them. So it tells you the situation is very chaotic. You know, reason why make them fire tear gas, this morning. And also, on the side of the Sierra Leonean authorities, then manager, then the neglected situation. Meaning, even we as journalists, we first reach before them. You know, but it's very bad. They expect that before 6 o'clock, the authorities, them, for not reach 8. They cannot be able to turn up this morning until when some after begin come up, and they will begin see them come up with the muska them, they stop them for let them leave them. They tell them the situation don't be now under control, then they process them, for let them return them back to their places.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning, and we definitely go keep an eye on this story. We go appreciate if you can be able to get some interviews with the people them way they presently, the one them way they don't return back, and it would be helpful if we can get them views and understand which thing they go through and how government will help them. We will also try to talk to the authorities. But thank you so much, Ibrahim Suri from Cambia, for speaking to us this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you, manager.
It's a very challenging situation, and we hope say the authorities then go pay. Well, this thing where they happen, so salon authorities then just come out Guinea, including the president, the foreign minister, and you imagine say that here can be handled bilaterally, we get an embassy in Guinea. You imagine say the Guinean authorities then go contact the embassy if then citizens, because they are a dignified way where you go repatriate people and back in their country, if you don't want to say your country, but get a lot of Guineans where they stay in Naya as well. You get a lot of Guineans where they live in Naya, hopefully we go continue to engage diplomatically with the Guinean authorities them and see how we go resolve this issue, from border issue to, bringing back Sierra Leoneans in that kind where he really, not look good. These are compatriots, and people should be treated. Their international human rights laws them back way you for use for treat foreign nationals where they live in your country. Hopefully we'll get the authorities and for talk about this in the program. But now then the show this morning, many thanks to my colleagues them. We had a technical issue this morning, and thanks to them for fixing it, and thanks to the production team as well, and thanks to all our viewers and listeners, and thanks to guests them we joined with this morning. The Tooth Morning Devotion, they return tomorrow, 6:30, inshallah. We will continue the conversation on things that they happen in the country. Till we meet back, have a lovely day. As always, remember for God and country, serve your conscience, be sincere, be honest with yourself. Try for do waiting right, avoid waiting wrong, be a law-abiding citizen, because this country, now we no more go make them better. And the truth now they always last. Till meet back. My name is Namadula. I'm gonna back. Continue for stay with Truth Media. Thanks to everyone who reached out this morning, showing concern. We appreciate that so much. Continue for stay with me.
now we own country. Why? Foreign self get same pass we. Yeah, we go left we country man in business. For support and put food now other money take. This blame game do so now. Now make we put we country interest for. Why we not let we say food? We don't know. Why we too hate we say food? We don't know. How we go develop ya mama? Why we know the things alone? We don't know. Make we bring